Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we are back and we are playing more Dungeons and Dragons. That's right, Josh, I'm afraid so. That's why you're here. And we are playing Tricks of the Trade Episode 2, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign, Westmarch style, where you guys can come in and play each week. So, Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm finally rested from Hollybobs and planned everything. As I was just telling the crew, it's one of those things that it may seem like a lot of this is going to be improvised, but really it's just so flawlessly written that it seems so natural, and that is best to encapsulate their fantastic performances today. So just bear that in mind, and no improvisation. This was all scripted.
Appreciate that everything that you see from here on is now scripted.
It's professional. That's
100%.
That's the key point.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, let's go around and meet our cast and crew for today. Let's find out who they are and who they are playing. So let's start with Zippy Zippo. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Tonight, or I guess today, I'm going to be playing Shallot Weatherfield's the Onion Mage.
Fantastic. And he's a wizard? What race is he?
He's a wizard. He is a forest gnome wizard.
Wow. Beautiful. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet LaCharlotte. Fantastic. We have Otaku Bree, one of the first of two otakus that we have in tonight. How's it going, Sabrina?
It's going good. I will be playing Nemesis Durdial, who's a monk, and she is a half-elf drow.
A drow in the party. I like it. Fantastic. We have the second second otaku in today, Mr. Downlow Otaku. How's it going, dude?
Hey man, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, very good. Tell us about Bull today.
Alright, so I'll be playing a Bull Marsh, who is a human fighter, and he has both a fear and a hatred of goblins.
Oh, good.
So,
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Oh, so many regrets.
Fantastic. And we have Kiana with us today. How's it going, Kiana?
I'm good. I will be playing a human bard named Marie. So that'll be exciting. My first time playing as a player character.
Wow,
So,
awesome.
We'll see how that goes.
Fantastic. Yeah, I am also playing a bard today. So, bard crew in the house. I will be playing Finbar the Bard. He's a half-elf bard. Probably the most famous bard that you've ever encountered. Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. He's got heart of gold, really. Honest. But he's basically an idiot. He's the Michael Scott of Dungeons and Dragons, and yeah, that's all you need to know really about that. So, Josh, we could do a bit of a recap before we do a couple of hooks and plugs. So, should we talk a little bit about what happened last time? Even though these games are all kind of one shots, doesn't matter too much. But we did set some precedents.
Some things happened, and I mean, it was the first episode, so it's nice to know sort of what you guys are walking into, and that is untimely death.
Right.
No, it's New Halfland. So basically, to look back at sort of the old seasons, there is this continent called White Oma, and a lot of crazy stuff has happened there. But a long time ago, a dwarf, a brave man, decided to venture overseas to a new land that he settled and simultaneously sort of conquered and claimed as his own. And since then, not a lot has really been heard from New Halfland. But recently, the town of Nairwood, back in White Oma, has decided to start exploring, finding out what happened, and hopefully potentially set up some trade routes. So they came to pre-establish the only port town that was known as Haven Docks, and they arrived to find absolutely everything was on fire. So it was good.
Saved us a job, really.
You did, you really did. And I believe you found a kobold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Possibly the most valued player of the entire session.
I'd say so.
Pretty much single-handedly did everything for you guys, you useless guys. So he came along, sort of told you guys that he'd been there to torch the entire place, and that was on the behalf of big kobold. Almost, you could say, a dragon. Wow. So, you know there's a dragon about. You know it had them come down and torch Haven Docks. But you guys also know that you need to find somewhere for this trade post to start up. So you cleared out a place called Realport, and in the last couple of weeks, while we've been away, things have progressed. Havenport has been taken. It's been cleared out of the fish guts and horrible swamp monsters that you left just there, which was wonderful. Someone had that job. Poor person. And after that, it's sort of been semi-secured, but it's still a fragile first step in the new Halfland. Luckily, reinforcements have arrived, and they are
Haha!
a
With
bunch
us
of
tonight.
bards.
That's exactly what I ordered.
Hey!
Indeed. I like to think Finbar was in charge of like recruitment. He was like, you know, what this
Absolutely.
situation is? Bards.
More
bards.
bards.
Bards out of everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every
So,
possible orifice. Yep.
Every possible orifice.
Absolutely.
Luckily, we have at least one fighter and at least one monk. I have faith, you guys. I have faith.
I
Oh,
did
the wizard.
forget to say something, actually.
No.
Nemesis has a small little familiar named Gwen,
Oh.
Okay. Gwen is a
pseudo dragon.
pseudo dragon. Okay, cool. So we have a pseudo dragon. We also potentially have another familiar in the party, but I don't want to give anything away. I will let that person unveil said familiar in the most overly dramatic of fashions. I have faith.
Fantastic.
Name.
Fantastic. So, I guess before we dive into today's game, remind you guys quickly the ways you can interact with today's show. As per usual, if you haven't followed, follow. First one's at 10, because we're doing a 3-hour show today. So, 10 followers, you guys get to decide what happens next in our campaign. Screw with these guys, or help them out if you're feeling generous. These guys are usually the ones throwing evil viewer decisions at us, so it's a perfect opportunity to punish not only myself and Josh, but other viewers as well. What could be better? Here is the tweet for you guys as well. 20 retweets. We'll have another viewer decision, and 2 new subscribers and patrons on Patreon. We'll have another one. Don't forget you can donate to affect the game. You can give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. And all of that is being pumped into the sexy new artwork you've been seeing on the stream recently, like the new emotes, the new animations, new follow alerts, and all that good stuff. So, other than that, let's hand over to Josh to take us into episode 2 of Tricks of the Trade.
Cool. So, you are now in a town that smells worse than anything you've ever encountered. Take a moment, breathe it in, breathe it out. Hold your breath for the rest of eternity. It's one breath. That's all you need. You can never smell again. This town is incredibly pungent. It's a deserted fishing village. It was some sort of flash flood that tore through this place, and you found out, Finbar sort of found out last time that there was, they'd sort of been driven from the town by this flood, whoever they were. And the ones that were left there behind sort of became these strange, ghoulish fish people who totally fucked up the party last time. It was awesome. But now you guys have sort of got a bit of a choice ahead of you. There are 3 options that are currently laid out as potential avenues of advancement, or you can make up your own one and completely fuck with anything I have planned. But have I planned for that as well? No. So you guys have heard from scouting reports that there are a couple of places. There is a place to the north called the Tumbling Cliffs. Now, the Tumbling Cliffs are these white chalky cliffs. Think sort of the Great Cliffs of Dover, and they're collapsing in reverse. For the past, since anyone can really remember, every now and again, a piece of the cliff face will rise out of the bubbling ocean and reattach itself to the cliff. And the cliff is steadily advancing outwards. And right on the edge of it is what looks to be an old fort that is half missing. And every now and again, a piece of the fort will rise out of the ocean and just slot back into place as if time itself is working in reverse there. So it's definitely a place worth checking out. It has great views of the ocean, but also could make a good place to scout out, a good fortification place for the new frontier that is starting out here. There's also the problem of the fact that the town was attacked by what apparently is a dragon sending forth kobolds. So that is something that needs to be dealt with. Whether or not you're the party for that is up to you guys. There is one other thing that has happened recently. A group of hunters left the village and they ventured into the small forest, which is just on the, it's maybe about 30 or 40 miles to the west of Haven Docks. And while they were there, they encountered some interesting people. They described them as both very elegant, very elvish, and very brutish, and very definitely not elvish. Some sort of mixed-matched party of people who drove them out of the woods. But they didn't kill anyone. It seemed to be more a problem that they were trespassing, and whoever these hunting party that from your guys who went out there just simply didn't know the lay of the land. So it has been suggested that a diplomatic envoy be sent to these people to see if they can figure out if we can potentially do trade with them, if we could move further inland, or if we're going to start pissing more people off. So these are sort of like on a bulletin board of a small, what is essentially now a tavern area. It is still, people are sitting there, they're drinking pints of mead, but they are drinking with nose plugs in. It's not a particularly pleasant start for you guys. So everyone's very much excited to move out of this place and to somewhere nicer. So it's up to you guys. But I'm going to start you guys off in this small, god-awful old fishery that is now a tavern. It's called the Drink, and it is literally, like, it's half falling into the river. It's on stilts. Below is sort of like the fetid water that is slowly starting to crawl through as the river slowly pushes through all the silt and crap that got crushed there. And it's sort of becoming semi-habitable, but it's not a particularly nice guy. There is one guy who's working behind the bar. He's a big dude. He's human. He's got dark skin. He's wearing a gladiatorial sort of plate mail, has a pair of long swords on his hip, and he looks thoroughly miserable. This, of course, will be my character from last season, whose name I have suddenly completely forgot.
Hess.
Hess, that's it. Hess Hassim, that's it. So Hess is there, and Will, you remember you on the deck of many things? He got a free wish. He got one use of the wish. He wished he was far away from Nitbit. He was deployed to the new frontier. That's how this works. So this is what it brought him.
Brave man. Brave man indeed. Fantastic. So are we all together as we start today's adventure?
You guys are together. You probably bumped into each other around a lot of. You may have even known each other on the voyage over. But right now, you your t-shirt stall is just outside. It's not picking up particularly well, Finbar. I hate to break you. You just need more people, new people. Yeah. Most of these people already know all of your lyrics and a lifelong fan.
They've already got the t-shirt. Yeah,
exactly. So this is sort of like a gathering of adventurers. But Hess is sort of just addressed to people, and he's just erected this billboard that has bounties of sorts up on it, and says, who's looking for work?
That would be us, my friend Hess. Yes, we are definitely looking for work. This here is my new band of adventurers. Let me introduce them to you. Of course you know who I am. This here is Marie.
I do a little curtsy.
Delightful. We have, of course, the most important member of our band, as she's a bard. We have Onion Knight, Charlotte.
Greetings and salutations.
There's a little fella, but he's got a lot of potent smell to him. And we have Nemesis here.
I give a low bow.
She likes bows. And we have Bull here.
Hello. As I nod my head.
Well, I did not know you were getting the band back together. Did not go so well solo.
Well, what can I say? Finbar and the Finbards was always my most popular enterprise. So I figured I'd give the fans what they wanted and, get the band back together again. I look pointedly at Marie.
I kind of just look away. Just be like, yeah,
merchandise. That's where the money is. So, you mentioned bounties, Hess. We've heard a couple of rumors. There's something going on with cliffs and something about trade. I can't say I really remember. I was rather drunk at the time.
Basically, you have the Tumbling Cliffs as an old fort up there. We're interested in maybe taking it over, having somewhere that doesn't smell like fish every 5 minutes. You know, you and your onion boy there could go stink that place up. I would be careful. It's right on the edge of cliff. They tell me it falls in reverse, so it's actually rebuilding itself. So, I mean, we wouldn't even need to worry about that. But no one's really come back from up there, so...
By the rise and layers.
The other point would be heading up river. He's a strange man. Yeah, heading up the river, there is problems with... Well, this place was fucked over by a dragon, apparently. So if you could deal with that, that would be good. Other than that, I mean, there's always whoever the fuck the elves were, or whatever they are, out in the woods. I mean, we can't hunt in the woods currently without pissing them off, so some kind of diplomatic relation would really help.
Well, diplomacy is always our strong point. I'm a half-elf.
He looks pained. He looks pained. No. Okay. I mean, I would send someone else. I would send literally anyone else, but most people are still unloading the ship or repairing the town or dead.
No one would be able to do it like we could. Exactly. What do you say, Nemesis? You seemed interested in elves.
Well, I would like to see more of the elven kind, seeing as I've only seen, well, my kind for a long time.
Very multicultural.
Indeed.
Okay, well, I say then, Hess, that perhaps if the group is okay with it as well, of course, this is a diplomatic group, then we should look into treaties with the elves and see what we can do about that.
Well, I know I prefer not to face a dragon today.
Also
Maybe
that.
some other day.
Strong motivation.
My scholarly intuition says maybe we should, I don't know, take a look at the rebuilding fort. I mean, that's kind of weird. Out of the ordinary.
That does sound weird. That definitely sounds weird. It's also on a cliff, which has a potential for falling off.
Well, when you have your trusty goats, you can stand on side of cliff faces and you can climb up them. It's great. You should try it.
I mean, I'm sure that's great, but I don't think all of us are quite as small as you.
Small?
Very true. None of us are the size of goats, unlike you, Charlotte.
Oh.
Well,
I'm trying to say it nicely.
Well, yes. Bull, you're a man.
So long as there's no goblins, I'm fine to go wherever. Don't like those goblins.
Elves don't like goblins. Goblins probably like cliffs.
Well, then let's go see them elves.
All right then, Hess. Where are the elves?
He will hand you a map, and he points out that on the map, you are heading into a forest, which I will give you a little marker for. It's going to be red for unknown. There we are. Boom. It's on the map. I did a thing. So these are the woods in question. It's probably going to take you about a day just to get to the edge of the woods. So a fair old journey. It's whether or not you guys want to start off immediately, travel through the night, sleep through the day, or vice versa. But it's a wilderness out there, guys. So
how long would it take us to get to the cliffs?
It'll probably, the cliffs, you could actually get a carriage there, so it would take you a little less time, mainly because you could just hop on a carriage that's going from Realport to Haven Docks, one of the many supply wagons that keep coming through, and then it's about the same sort of time to get there from Haven Docks.
I say we go to the cliffs, shorter time.
I suppose so.
The cliffs are closer, that is true. But then a good romp through the forest has never done anyone any harm.
Well, romp as in like that kind, or
I'm sorry, Marie, but I'm married.
Ah, right. Okay.
Oh, darn.
I was not trying to come.
Well, there are a lot of beautiful women throw themselves at me. It's fine. I understand. And I strike a pose.
I'm not. What? Okay. I was just asking.
And I'm walking to see a cart to see if I can find a cart.
I've had enough. I'm done. I give up.
A cart. A singular idea. Let's get a cart.
Yes. Let's follow her.
Yeah, you come across. There's a dwarf who's currently sort of. It looks like he's got what looks to be a circus wagon. It's the only way to describe it. It's like it's got this really extravagant design. It says Boone's Magic down the side. It's like a multicolored patchwork top that goes over the top. And if you think of like old school buffalo convoys, it's that kind of wagon. And there's currently a halfling who appears to be bridling the horses, getting them ready to tow this thing. There's 2 horses, and it's quite a big it's quite a big caravan. And he turns, he smiles with an easy smile. He's quite a good looking dwarf. He hops down, comes over to you, and says, "What can I be doing for you?"
Hello. Me and my friends were wondering if we could get a ride to the cliffs. Would that be something that you would be able to do?
The cliffs? I'm not really supposed to be going that far. I'm only popping to Haven Docks, but I mean, maybe I could be persuaded.
Yeah. Look, we're trying to do some help around here, and we were
I'm sorry.
asked to-
I'm married.
Finbar. No.
He was coming on to me.
He's always
Yeah.
like this. Don't mind him.
Anyways, we were asked to go and check it out, and so we were wondering if we got some help, get there faster, get some information back to the town a little faster, stuff like that. And we're wondering if maybe you could be the person to help us.
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right.
First roll of the
Say,
day. Roll high.
Woo! Don't screw me over.
Nat 1. Nat 1. ladies and
No
gentlemen.
nat 1. Nat 20, if any.
All of the nat 20s.
Did that go?
No pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
It's 25.
We are not
Oh,
pulling
damn.
any punches today. We're going straight all out. Okay. So yeah, he actually seems quite taken with you. He says, to be honest, I'm used to something a little bit more, fragrant than the current accommodation we've been staying in. So I suppose anything that gets us out of this shithole would be nice.
That would
That's
be
it.
lovely.
I tell you what, I'll do you this favor, but you owe me one in the future. You understand?
Oh, no problem.
Yeah,
Do
of
you
course.
have room for my sheep?
He chuckles and says, "Jump in the back. You'll
Sweet.
understand."
Come on, Ramses.
My sheep trots up behind me.
Now, is this post or pre-transformation Ramsey? Is this blood red, possibly demonic
Oh.
Ramsey we're dealing with, or is this
Pre.
okay? So it's no
He's,
demonic.
he's just really crotchety.
Yeah, he's just okay, cool. So yeah, there is. It's a fair old jump up into the back, but yeah, you guys can get in and find inside that there is rather interesting layout. You got to pull these flaps aside, and you get into the back, and it is ginormous in here. There is a feasting hall in the back of this caravan. There are hammocks hanging down the side. There's currently 12 hammocks set up. 6 of them low, 6 of them high on the walls. It's solid wooden walls. There's a fire, a hearth blazing in the center, and sat round the edge are 2 individuals, one of whom is kicked his feet up and is currently playing a ukulele and relaxing. He's a tiefling. He has red skin, very fine clothing. The other one is the largest orc you've ever seen, who is trying to smile and sing along, but his face is just full of teeth that do not fit in his mouth. Next to him is a great bow that is clearly maybe 2.5 meters long and is just resting against one of the posts that holds the roof up. And he's just, Welcome. You must be new. You travel with us?
Oh, we're just getting a little ride. That's all.
Sweet papyrus. Oh man, that is one swanky bow.
He says, you like? And he picks it up and hands it to you. This thing weighs maybe 200 pounds, 300 pounds. It's made of branches of silver birch that appear to be tied together with, what could be horse braid, you're not really sure. It's not particularly well made, but it looks vicious. And the arrows that currently are for it, he has 5 of them in a quiver, and they look like small ballista rounds. It's a pretty daunting weapon. And he says, you want to give a go?
I look at Ramses. Ramses, do you think I should? Oh, gee, Shallot, I don't know. That thing's like 4 times the size of you.
All right, let's do it. It's a great idea.
So I walk up and I said,
Could you hold the bow while I try to draw it?
Yeah, no problem. He stands up, he holds it up, he holds his hand out for you to stand on, lifts you up, and he just slowly slots an arrow into place, lifts the bow up in front of you. Make me a strength check, or I'll give you athletics. So if you have proficiency, a little bit of extra help. This is quite a challenge.
Where is this arrow pointed?
It's currently pointed out the back. You can see clear out the back as if there's no trouble whatsoever. It's pointed at a building. However, the bowstring does not move. Not even slightly. It just sort of, you hold it and you might as well be pulling the earth itself. Not a flicker.
Don't worry, I got this.
He says, would you like help?
Oh, yeah. I most certainly.
He sort of grips you in the hand along with the bowstring, pulls it back, and you realize you are now sort of like wrapped around this bowstring. He pulls it all the way back, and there is a moment where it could happen. You could go with this arrow straight out the back, and at that precise moment, the halfling jumps into the back, looks at him, shakes his head, and he's just, okay, fine. And you are slowly, carefully going down. Anybody else want to try?
No.
No, thank you.
I told you, Shallot.
No, I'm good.
I'll be pulling my own bowstring in my own time, if that's okay.
Okay, you don't have bow.
I'm gonna walk over to the tiefling and make some small talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna join her.
he's definitely coming on to you. This big orc is definitely he's giving you the eyes, you think.
Men like me, what can I say?
Yeah, that's true. It's not Finbar's fault, okay? Yeah, the tiefling, he smiles easily at you guys, stops playing and says, how far are you going? You said something about the cliffs, I believe?
Oh, yes. Do you know the tumbling cliffs? We're just taking a small ride there.
The tumbling cliffs that don't seem to be tumbling, they seem to be repairing themselves.
Yes, I've been talking to Boone about going there for about 3 weeks now, but he's not having any of it. One of you must have had a real effect on him.
Interesting.
So, who are you all?
My name is Shallot Weatherfield from the small town of Walla Walla, and this is my trusty steed, Ramses.
I'm not his trusty steed.
Oh, come on, Ramses. Don't embarrass me.
It's the scary change of facial expression that really does it for me. It's wonderful. So yeah, he sort of nods slowly, looks at Ramsey for a moment, gives Ramsey a look. It's a knowing look. Raises an eyebrow.
Yep, I'm a talking sheep and he's an idiot.
Gwen kind of flies off of Nemesis's shoulders and just sort of curls up in the fluff of the sheep.
Ramsey now has a pseudo dragon just chilling.
Well, I'm okay with this as long as it's not Shallot.
Just literally anyone can be my friend.
Anyone else.
Anyone in the world. So yeah, as the small talk continues, you suddenly realise that out the back, stuff be moving. It looks like the buildings are slowly starting to get a little smaller. Boone jumps in through the back, puts his longbow aside, kicks off his boots, wriggles his big hairy dwarven toes, goes over and begins to stir this pot that's on top of the fireplace and says, well, I hope you're hungry. I don't know what it is. It's been boiling for about 4 weeks at this point, so it could be anything. And he just begins to ladle out some food as you guys start to move your way towards Avonport.
Is this your culinary creation, or just been
no,
in this wagon?
No. This belongs to a friend of mine, Howard. He
Okay.
it's a magic cauldron, so it doesn't matter what you put in it. It tastes good.
Oh,
That's
wow.
interesting.
Interesting. I eat
Need to
I
get-
say like eating my rations.
Would anyone like to try some of this culinary treat?
Oh,
I would.
most definitely. Ramsey, do you want a bowl?
Ramsey's just over there, like, eating pages out of my spell book.
I
With
think
Gwen
he's
the
okay.
pseudo dragon on top of him.
I'll try some soup. What could go wrong?
Yes.
Would you like to make me a wisdom saving throw, my friend?
I would.
Anyone else who is currently eating the soup, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. It is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. It's like whatever this is died so.
Oh, that's a. Oh God.
Oh god. Okay.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so shallot, it's one of the nicest things you've ever had. It's just it's creamy, and yet it's also it's vibrant, and it has spice. You're not sure what kind of spice, but it's definitely got onions in there. There's definitely onions or shallots in there somewhere. Nemesis, the soup is good. The pot is good. Okay.
Can I roll for Gwen
It is
too?
good. You can
See if
indeed.
Gwen likes it.
Basically,
That is
anyone
quite
who rolls,
potent.
anyone who
It's not
rolls
that
an
bad.
18 or above, you will realize how terrible this is. But only for everyone else, just this is the best food ever. You suffer no negative effects whatsoever.
Gwen absolutely loves it.
I think I want to die.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
I want some more.
Not your taste, Finbar.
It would be such a waste of the music industry if I were to die, though, so I'll stay alive. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
he's just so
not sure
wonderful.
which of my rolls it is, but that's not. Nope.
Boone just looks at you like you're a madman, Finbar, as does the orc. The tiefling, however, gives you a knowing look, and you notice he's eating bread that didn't come from the pot.
Yeah, I go and share some food with him.
He sits there, he's just like, they're idiots. Just,
Right.
I can't abide by.
You see, all my life people have told me I'm the idiot, but I knew deep down that it was them. I like chew a piece of his bread from his hand.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's like you can see Finbar there just eating out of his hand, and then right next to him you can see Ramsey eating out of his hand, and there is an unerring similarity between the two goateed figures as they munch from the tiefling's hand, and he's just like, right,
This is actually pretty good.
idiots.
This is fine.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
So yeah, along the way, it's a pretty uneventful trip. Most of the way there. However, you get to the point where after you guys get a full night's sleep, you're rested. You don't need to make camp. You don't need to worry about all that business. But you do wake up the next morning to be told by Boone, "This is as far as we can take you. The carriage won't make it that far up the cliff. It's all scrub and bush, and there's no real path leading up there. So if you do make it up there and find anything good, we're gonna have to lay a path down here. So it better be worth it."
Well, we really do appreciate it. I know.
Yes, we do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, Boona. Boone.
Thank you for the delicious soup. Oh my god, that was the greatest soup I've ever had the privilege of tasting.
I will not forget that soup in some years.
Can I get myself
Neither
another
will
bowl?
I.
And he goes over, and by the way, Finbar, it's permanently ruined for you.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So yeah, he goes and he ladles you all out like a small bowl, and he wraps like a leaf over the top of it, and then ties some braid around it, and gives you a takeaway container of soup. So you can all take some soup, and he says, "Don't worry about it. Never goes out of date. It's fantastic."
By the holy ink. Thank you.
Wonder why it doesn't go out of date.
Oh, really? You didn't have to do it. I'm so glad, though,
It's
that
just
we
like
had
this-
a traveling companion like you. I do like a little hair flip and
You know. Yeah, he leans back. and
She's
gives you
coming
a-
on to you. She does it to me too, don't worry.
I shoot Finbar a dirty look.
Look at the look she's giving me now.
Mm.
Insatiable.
Well, anyway, thank you very much for giving us a ride here. I do believe we shall be on our way. Yes?
Yes.
Of course. Ramsey, look, I got a swanky takeaway container.
Whatever, Charlotte. Just get on my back so we can get out of here.
You notice actually the halfling who's sort of come inside. He's the one who actually makes the carriage do shit. He gets around. He doesn't speak, and you'll notice that he's got some quite nasty burns around his neck. You get the feeling that he probably can't speak, but he looks at Ramsey, and you guys get the feeling that this guy definitely. The key thing is he doesn't have any metal at all on him in any way. He's barefoot. He's very dirty. His hair's a mess, and he has war paint on his face in green and brown. Definitely speaks to some sort of druidic heritage. But he looks at Ramsey, and he just sort of has this moment where Ramsey would get the vibe that this halfling is willing to kill Charlotte and free him, if need be. Just, you only need to ask. And that's transferred in a look.
Charlotte gets on Ramsey's, and Ramsey kind of bucks Charlotte for a few gold pieces to fall out of the gnome's pocket, and he kind of takes one of his hoofs and he starts kicking it over towards the halfling, and kind of looks over and winks at him.
The halfling, completely business cold. He just nods. He takes the gold coins. He looks at Charlotte, and he smiles in the most unearingly creepy fashion. Just this really intense smile, like he's not really sure how to be happy. And then he just steps inside. And I need to make a little note of your impending death.
Yeah, I kind of look at the other people in the party, and I kind of go, "Did that just
Death
happen?
by
I'm not
tiny
imagining it."
halfling.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Let's head to the cliffs and get us some fresh air, shall we?
I would love that.
Finally.
Onwards and upwards, my friends.
Indeed.
So as you guys disembark, Finbar, you immediately feel the need to be sick. It's
I've been holding it in,
Yeah,
it's
common courtesy.
it's been rude. Yeah.
Oh,
I just kind of move my hand in front of my face and look away.
Does it set other people off in the group, and if you see someone being sick, it makes you sick.
person, yeah.
Oh, poor Fimbo. Oh, God.
And then the sheep.
Oh man, that's good eats. And Ramsey kind of walks over and starts having that.
I'm glad I could help.
Mm.
Yeah,
Why did you have corn?
Yeah, I've been around enough throwing up drunk people, so I just kind of go over and just pat Finbar on the back. It's okay.
I know.
Let it out.
Hold my hair back.
Oh, no, don't do that. You're
checked.
going to make me...
Right.
Ramsey's
What has
having the
happened to
best
this
day.
party? Oh, goodness.
Oh man, this is like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh boy. So yeah, you guys step round the carriage, and you do see what appears to be up top a hill, the edge of the earth, as it were, the Land's End, and there is a fort up there, or half of one. There appears to be only a small portion of it is still there. However, even as you are standing there, you step off of the wagon, you step around it, you look up at the path. You can all roll me a perception check, and we'll see if you notice anything more about this mysterious, bizarre place.
11.
Solid. Oh, there we are.
That's better.
3. Saving
Oh,
everyone.
that was terrible.
So Mary, you actually watch as you look up and you see what appears to be a small piece of. It looks like the corner of one of the rooms just suddenly appears. Definitely comes up from the other side, but you can't see sort of it rise out of the ocean. You don't get that. You just see right at the top it come up and just slot into place. And it doesn't seem to sort of sew itself back together. It is literally as if time were working in reverse and it just snaps into place. But for a fraction of a second, you're absolutely certain that you see a figure that just before it falls in reverse into the room, and then the masonry snaps into place.
Guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that.
So what?
I saw. So you know how like the pieces are kind of coming up and slotting themselves into place and stuff like that. I think I saw a figure up there just right before.
Like a
Swallow?
person.
I guess. I don't know. It was really quick. It was. I don't know. I might have just been seeing something out of the corner of my eye and just paranoid, but I swear I saw something.
We might be being watched. Might be a fan of mine or groupie.
Yeah, sure. A fan follows us all the way over here.
Or the evil
Denmark.
Grooze.
Could be that.
Anyway, I say we should go check it out.
All right, let's go. I'm always
Yeah, let's
ready
do
for
this.
adventure.
Cool.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. You guys can head up. Ramsey easily makes it up this steep incline, showing once and for all that goats truly are the superior breed of mount. And yeah, it's a pretty simple journey up. But as you get a little closer, you notice that the front of this building is entirely intact, including a portcullis that has come down over the front gate, and it is definitely sealed up tight. There are a couple of arrow slits at the front. It seems to be a 2-story affair and has a small moat around the edge of it, which just vanishes off the edge. The moat has not drained, despite the fact that the two ends, it's a semicircle and there's just nothing. It should literally just be falling off the cliff and draining because there's no way for the water to refill, and yet it remains. There is a very small drawbridge that leads across, and the drawbridge is down, but everything else is sealed up tight.
This seems kind of magical.
So the drawbridge is down, meaning we can walk across and enter.
You can get to the gate, but there is this huge wrought iron portcullis that is down. It doesn't appear to be damaged in any way. The doors on the other side, there's maybe about 5 meters between the gate and the front doors, and they are huge, relatively unordained but reinforced wooden doors that clearly, I mean, a giant could easily just stride through those doors with no problems whatsoever. These are big, imposing, probably meant for displays of power.
Any sort of holes that maybe a small dragon can fit in?
There are arrow slits.
I don't think arrow slits are wide enough.
You could probably, I'm going to say, yeah, you could probably, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be easy, but they do have to expand. They've got sort of like the diamond wedge in the center for them to gain a little bit more visibility and to actually put their hand up against and fire through. So, I mean, it's meant to stop humans and the like, and people who have arms and legs and are difficult and gangly and ungainly getting through. But a dragon, A dragon can pretty much roll itself into a small tube and just straight on.
Alrighty, in that case, I'm gonna have Gwen fly up to one of the arrow slits and go inside, and I'm gonna use the pseudo dragon's ability. I don't think I have it on here, but I'm able to see through my pseudo dragon's eyes.
Yeah. So how Find Familiar works is when you have your familiar summoned, it's your choice. You can telepathically communicate with a pseudo dragon, so it can talk back to you, but you can choose as an action to become deaf and blind where you are. In real life, you're still there, so you're vulnerable, but you can instead, in turn, look through your pseudo dragon and direct it around.
Alrighty.
So, yeah, Gwen takes flight and heads straight up to find an arrow slit that is suitable. While that's going on, the rest of the party, you are faced with this a small fortress. Any plans, or are you waiting for?
Just let you all guys all know, as this is happening, Nemesis is sitting down in a sort of meditative position, and her eyes close, and now she is dormant.
Ramsey goes up to Nemesis and takes a hoof and kind of pushes on her shoulder. I think we broke her.
Just leave her alone. I think she might be doing something. And while this is happening, I am going to go and look into the water. Not go into it, but I just want to look and see if there's anything interesting about the
water. Are we looking
waters.
into the moat, or are we looking into the...
Into the moat.
Into the moat.
I'll also do that, if that's okay.
Sorry, what?
Give me perception checks. If you're perusing the moat.
All right, let me just...
21.
Nailed it. Booyah. 15 good rolls. So on a 15, Mary, you look down into the water, and there's no movement in the water. It's quite calm. You get the occasional... Obviously, it's very windy on the side of this cliff, so occasionally the water surface is disrupted. Otherwise, it is pretty much mirror smooth. But it definitely flows. It definitely moves. It's definitely water. It's not like glass or anything. It's not a construct of anything. It's just something is keeping it there. But other than that, it appears to just be regular water. It's quite deep. You can't see the bottom. Finbar, however, you do notice that there does appear to be movement below the surface. You watch... in fascination, horror, arousal, who knows, with Finbar, you see something move beneath the surface. It's got length. You can give it that. It has girth as well. It's a large thing, but from your angle, the fact you're looking at it through the surface of the water, and the fact that it's for you guys, as you were lucky enough to catch a ride, it's about coming up to 11, 12 in the afternoon. So you got plenty of light. It just appears to be sticking right to the bottom of the water. So you don't exactly make out what it is, but it moves underneath the drawbridge and seems to continue round.
There's something underneath there, something in the water. It's large. Could be a guardian or something. Yes, just there. It's gone.
I don't see anything.
Well, trust me. I've seen my fair share of gribbly monsters, and that one is one of the girthier ones.
I'll take your word for it.
Shallot at this point is over by the port cutlass, trying to inspect it. He's going to cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything magical about the port cutlass, keeping it sealed.
You go temporarily blind.
Okay. Oh,
this is more magic than you've ever seen in your life. It's just concentrated, and it is not just coming from the port cutlass. The entire surrounding area lights up like it's Christmas.
Holy crap.
You have to sort of do the slow blink and wave your hand, and you've got spots dancing. But vision sort of comes back to you as you adjust, and you realize that this sort of area has a jagged line around it. It stretches out way past the moat, and it appears to be what looks like runes have been carved into the ground or burnt into the ground. You did not notice this a minute ago. They appear to be entirely invisible, other than when using some sort of scrying or magical detection. The castle itself seems to be encapsulated in a bubble of some sort. And you can see almost through the walls, there is a lot more to this castle. There is a whole fort, but half of it seems to be almost ethereal.
Holy great papyrus. Guys,
What's going on?
well, okay, so this is like a magical hot spot right here.
Oh.
Half the fort seems to not be in this plane. It's like half of it's physical and the other half is non-corporeal. And there's runes everywhere. This is just, oh my goodness, Ramsey.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I'm just overwhelmed right now. Okay, but this is really, really freaking me out.
Is it dangerous? Are these runes protective, or are they for another purpose?
Well, I guess I have to take a look at these runes.
So I start to inspect some of the runes. I can still see them, right?
You can indeed. It's a concentration spell. So basically, don't get knocked the fuck out in the next 10 minutes and you're good.
Okay, cool.
As you're walking around, what languages do you speak?
I know Gnomish, Common, Goblin, and Dwarvish, but I also can cast the cantrip comprehend languages that lets me, as long as I'm touching the rune, allows me to understand the
Okay, yeah, you can give that a go. It's like it's you find sort of a deeper connection. If you want to give it a shot, you can indeed.
Okay. I put my hand on one of the runes and I begin to cast the comprehend language. I pull out from my little compound satchel for a component satchel a pinch of salt, and I start to sprinkle it on the rune. I put my hand on it and I just start mumbling words to myself, trying to kind of decipher what the rune says. I don't know what, like, let's see. It says, for the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read a page of text, but I don't think I can know when. Okay, this spell does not decode secret messages in a text or glyphs such as arcane sigil, and that is not part of a written language.
Okay, so you reach out. You've never seen something quite like this before. You reach out, give it a shot, and as the spell takes effect, you cannot move your hand from that position. Your hand suddenly freezes in place and begins to slowly heat up.
Ow!
Shout.
You okay?
You okay?
And I start trying to like pull kind of deal, and it's kind of like cartoony where like I'm starting to try to pull my hand off of the surface and I'm like flailing around.
Ramsey, help! Oh God, my hand's stuck. Somebody! Oh God! It's
Bull,
burning!
Bull, you're strong. Pull him off.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Bull, give me an athletics check to try and pull this gnome free.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
Don't pull his arm off.
Oh God.
On a 20, Bull steps forward and sort of like wraps his whole arm around the gnome, grabs hold of his wrist, puts his feet in place either side of this patch of ground, which to everyone else looks entirely unadorned, and he pulls. And Bull, you pull about a foot worth of earth with his hand. The earth that is the rune is carved into or burnt into, or however this ended up here, comes with your hand. It just rips it clean. There's some solid stone on there. Bull has just torn the earth asunder, and as he straightens up, you hear in your head, Charlotte, the words, "Short-sighted fool will damn you all." And on that,
Dear.
the rune stops glowing and it falls from your hand and the runes around you begin to shift. And on that, we're going to go and have a look through the eyes of a pseudo dragon and just see what's going on. So,
Damn it, Bull! Why did you do that?
Meanwhile,
I'm sorry.
guys, I think I pulled this giant pin out of this giant cliff, and nothing bad could happen. So yeah, the pseudo dragon Gwen has easily slotted her way through this arrow slit and found herself in a small corridor that's pretty much entirely unadorned, other than a large suit of armor which stands before her. It's quite clearly plate mail, it's quite clearly ceremonial, and it has a crest emblazoned in its chest piece. There appears to be a dragon, the dragon with its wings spread, and behind it there is a giant man who appears to be wielding a staff and a sword in the other hand, and he is just aglow with light. You're not sure what the symbol is, and Gwen certainly hasn't seen it before, though she feels a certain kinship with the dragon imagery. But other than that, you have a corridor stretching to the right. You have a corridor stretching to the left. To the left, you can see daylight. To the right, it gets dark. There are no sconces lit inside. It appears to be uninhabited. Which way are we going? Left or right?
I'd say right.
Are you sure?
Oh dear, really?
Oh, you said, well,
Well.
okay. No, this is what, I don't want to. I don't want spoilers or anything like that. Yeah, Gwen sees the daylight, figures, I've just come from daylight. Let's go further in. Let's see what's actually around. And she
Gwen
becomes
can handle herself.
Gwen's
I'm not worried.
exactly nothing to fear at all. You get to a balcony. It leads out to a balcony area, and there's another corridor that leads off past the balcony area that seems to lead into the other wing, through which you can almost make out the glimmers of daylight. But here, you look down and you see a feasting hall. This is a massive area, and there is actually what appears to be a throne. So this seems to be an area of meeting. You would imagine sort of diplomats would probably come all this way, and the first thing they would do is they would walk into this giant place of majesty. They would meet whoever was in charge here. There's one large table in the center, and then there are two smaller tables on either side, and there are huge alcoves that descend deep into the rock itself, as loads of corridors split off, all of the doors seemingly shut. The throne is unadorned. However, there does appear to be a small orb of light. It sort of flickers and dances, and it seems to be slowly circling. Give me an insight check. Let's insight an orb of light. Because why the fuck? On a 10, it's an orb of light. It's doing things that an orb of light would do. It's existing. You get the feeling it's floating. It's probably projecting light in all directions. And that's about all the motive it could
That's
possibly
about
have.
it.
There you are. What does Gwen do faced with such a thing?
Kind gesture.
Thank you, Kostakiki. Oh, Kiaki. Thank you, buddy.
Gwen is gonna turn back and return to Nemesis.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, you turn back, and as you do, you come back. I'm gonna give you, one perception check before you leave. Just a cheeky one.
Cheeky peeky.
Cool. You get a little. Gwen gets a little bit lost. She gets a little bit turned around. She can't quite remember where the arrow slot was, and then she comes to it, but there's something wrong.
I swear to God, if the armor is missing.
I wouldn't do that to you. The armor is indeed absent. It's entirely vanished. There is now an alcove there. There is a small stone plinth where it was stood. But other than that, there is a small two prongs where you would imagine the feet were secured in place. And there is also a thing for the sword that just held the sword in place and stopped it from damaging the blade. But there is a giant looming alcove that is entirely empty and unadorned.
Oh boy. Well, as Gwen returns, Nemesis opens her eyes and comes back to consciousness, sort of. All right. Well, that's not good. Oh, jeez, what the heck is going on here?
You see, Bull is currently holding Charlotte at sort of at arm's length, like an errant child. And there is a large piece of the floor attached to Charlotte's hand that suddenly falls away. There appears to be smoke coming off his palm. Charlotte, you're the only one who's heard these words in your head, and you're pretty sure that they weren't in common or any language you've ever heard before, but you understood them. It was not a pleasant experience.
What in Lord's name is going on?
It was all Bull's, but Bull did it.
He didn't do nothing. He was stuck.
You pulled that man's arm literally out of the ground. I don't know who told you to do that.
Nothing concerning happened.
As soon as the floor falls from Shallot's hand, he kind of like writhes his way like a cat on the ceiling around Bull's arm, and he kind of like hugs it and he's like, Man, the things I heard, the things I seen.
What did you hear?
Yeah, what did you hear or see?
Some voice that called me a short-sighted fool, and
That was
and
me,
I'm-
wasn't it?
what? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time somebody called me that, but this one was really scary.
It won't be the last.
It kind of had like this deep, sinister voice, and it was like, "You short-sighted fool," and it was really scary, and I didn't like it
That
at all.
does sound scary.
And it definitely does not sound like your voice, Finbar.
No, I have a rich baritone voice, and that gentleman clearly can't hold a pitch to save his life.
Yeah.
This is the point where I'll tell you, Ramsey also heard the voice, and Ramsey understood it.
Yep, I understood it 100%. I actually know what he's talking about. It was the most coolest thing ever. I thought Shallot was going to die. I was going to throw a party. Everyone here was just going to be invited except for Shallot because he's dead, of course. But hey, I, however, think that there's something sinister in that fort, and I think Shallot can concur by the way he's holding on to that poor man's arm.
I also have some findings through the eyes of my darling Gwen. As she was searching, she found armor right at the base of the arrow slit that she went through. She continued down a little bit, and there was a glowing orb of light in this big kind of a feasting hall with a huge throne, and knowing that Gwen can definitely handle herself, I thought it would be best if she came back. And as she was coming back, the armor was gone.
Well then.
Right, well, we should work on your storytelling abilities, because we could make that far more exciting. We could write that into an
Finbar.
epic sometime. It's all part of our adventure. So there's armor which moves? Why does armor move?
Well,
It didn't seem like there was anyone inside of it, which is the most concerning part.
When Shallot hears the talk about the moving armor, he kind of like breaks out of his fear, and his like inquisitive side takes over, and he kind of holds on to Bull's arm like the hang in there baby cat.
He's like, "Wow, that sounds really cool. We should go check it out."
well, I feel like, with your creepy voice happening and the missing armor, my favorite kind of armor, that we're kind of, and also that figure that I saw, I think we might be in a little deep.
The thing in the water as well.
That too.
Ramsey kind of raises a hoof. You would almost say we're in deep abyssal lack.
There was also another thing
No, I
that I
wouldn't say
didn't
that.
mention. There was a crest on the armor. Some sort of dragon. Does anyone know of that sort of symbol?
There is meant to be a dragon in these parts. This much is true. It was a band of kobolds followed it, so maybe it's something to do with that. Well, the only way that we're going to find out is we jolly well go inside there and have a route around, find your suit of armor, and see if there's any weird, creepy voices inside that have bodies.
Could I possibly try to remember if I've heard anything on my travels about a crest like this?
You can indeed. Roll me a history check if you would.
Alright. History. I am not a very smart person. No.
15. You know, 15 isn't bad. You've heard of crests like this in the past. Generally, a crest like that usually means there's some sort of draconic heritage, or at the very least, there's been a battle with a dragon at some point. Maybe it's ancient sort of legend, folklore, that sort of George and the Dragon sort of style thing, real Arthurian sort of legend. But it could be that, you know, maybe one of their ancestors met a dragon, was part of a dragon, guarded a dragon, killed a dragon. That's generally why they have such symbology.
Okay. So, yeah, guys, so, you know, dragons, we don't, clearly this family was involved with dragons. We don't know how, so we have to be careful, because who knows, these people might be, you know, dragon allies or
Lovers.
stuff like that.
Dragon lovers? Isn't that how dragonborns are made?
That's what I hear.
Don't think so.
Oh, by the
Anyway.
bones and layers.
Let's go inside, and we can ask the dragon if he's there.
Well,
Oh
first
yeah, that
we
sounds
have,
like a great idea.
first we have to try to find a way inside, because I don't think we could fit inside
The familiar dragon, can it pull a lever or open the portcullis from the other side?
We could try knocking.
Could try
No,
knocking.
not yet. Just saying.
It's a
We
good
could
point,
try
Benny.
knocking.
Knocking
I
on the
don't think,
portcullis.
as wonderful as my little pseudo dragon is, I don't think she's strong enough to pull a lever.
Let's try knocking. Bull, you're good at knocking.
Yes, I am. Alright. Do you want me to roll for that at all, or
Roll for knock.
Roll.
roll strength check? You never know.
Actually,
Might
yeah.
knock it off.
You know what? Roll me a strength. Just a strength check.
Please get a nat 1 and break your hand.
That's exactly what you want going into this.
Alright,
You
okay.
fight her to break his hand.
Dang
No,
it.
you knock resoundingly. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the greatest knock. The rhythm is okay, but it's a little bland. But you do knock. You successfully hit it 3 times, and you know it makes a suitable noise that would summon attention. So you knock. Is everyone sort of? Are you guys standing together as you knock?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. As there is this knocking, there's a moment of silence, and then there is a grating, screeching sound. As either side of you, giant chains begin to move. Behind you, the drawbridge raises and begins to come towards you. You are now stuck on a small, very, very slim piece of land, and the drawbridge is now almost vertical and is pushing towards the gate, which is not open and has spikes on it. It looks like you were about to be crushed.
Whoops.
As that happens, though, very, very painstakingly slowly, the portcullis begins to rise. But it does appear that you guys are about to become very, very trapped. Your only way out at this point would be to either try and climb. So you would have to climb up the sort of side of either the portcullis itself, up the castle walls, which aren't particularly easy to climb up. There is the drawbridge coming from behind you, which is pretty slick and pretty weather-worn, so not a lot of handholds. Try and make it for the chains, or it's into the moat. those are your ways out. Otherwise, you are definitely going into this castle and potentially losing your exit strategy.
Right.
You do, however, know that there's a cliff, like, right on the other side, so...
I say we climb. I don't want to go into that water there after what I saw inside.
Yes, the water's probably not wise.
Well,
we can-
I do suppose climbing is our only option.
We can go in and open a portcullis from the other side, maybe, and then lower the drawbridge from there to have our exit out.
Yes, that sounds.
I mean,
like a
you
great
guys
idea.
are being sort of, like, shoehorned into the entrance area, but the doorways on the other side are shut. You would essentially end up in a chamber that's about 5 meters across and 5 meters deep, and is probably the sort of place where you put guards with halberds to poke people through the portcullis.
All right. Well, let's go before this gate crushes us, and let's start climbing.
Yes.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm gonna start climbing. I'm gonna use when I'm able to. I'm gonna use the little slits for arrows as like holds for my hands and feet.
Okay. Everyone make me athletics checks. This is going to be a difficult one. It's not easy. This is a clifftop sort of castle.
22. Easy game.
Ooh,
I'm
shall
a
it?
noodle-armed bard.
Oh, I am a noodle-armed
I'm a
monk.
noodle bard.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Valda.
Well, half of your party goes splashing into the moat.
Okay, so Finbar,
Yes, sir.
Finbar and Bull, you guys make it up to the point where you can get hold of the chains. And it is possible for you guys to get on top of, just above the arc, there is, oh dear. Just above the archway that leads, the portcullis is retreating up into, there is what appears to be like some decoration, nothing particularly fancy, but it sticks out of the wall in that typical Assassin's Creed, hey, you can climb this sort of way.
Oh,
and
great.
it's going to become a lot easier once you get up there. And you just about make it, and you hear 1 splash, 2 splash, 3 splash,
Triple kill.
and then you hear a bleating sound.
And Gwen is just flying in circles above you guys.
Gwen's just perched on top of the arch and is looking down, just
I
sighing.
Look at those idiots!
look to Bull and I'm like, ha.
Pretty much.
How's it going down there? Are you okay?
Yeah,
everything's
Need some
okay.
assistance. Too bad. I'm too small and weak to help.
Shame. We'd help out, but we're too busy nailing it. And we...
High five.
Yeah, high five whilst we're climbing. What?
Mary, you're sort of like, you've just splashed down, you've broken the surface. You guys are sort of in the drink. The water's actually quite clean. It's not too bad. But it's cold. It's brutally cold up here. It's a real shock to the system. And you have that moment where you're just like, oh my God, like what is going on? I am very much awake suddenly. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
the moment when something knocks into your foot
Great.
and seems to continue past you.
No, I let out a scream at this point.
There is a loud, very high-pitched scream that comes
Ah,
from...
my sensitive ears!
I'm sorry. Just, I'm freaking out a little. There was something that just went past. I don't know what to do. It's
What
the,
did it feel like?
I don't know. It's big. I don't want to know. I just want to get out of here right now. And I'm starting to hyperventilate a bit.
Alright, calm down. Get out of the water. I, on the other hand, I'm gonna dive down and see if I can find what the heck hit her.
Fantastic. Would you like to roll me some initiative?
Oh boy!
And I will just remove Finbar from last time there. There you guys are. And let me just roll for this thing. I've
I
got to bring
can't
up
roll
this.
initiative for some reason.
You need a token, so roll. Just roll over your dexterity, or roll a d20 in roll 20
Yeah.
plus your dex bonus.
Oh, okay.
Let's have some pictures.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Charlotte.
Do you need me to roll initiative as well, mate?
Yes, please.
I got it.
Oh god.
Oh, you guys are nailing this.
15.
I am nailing it. Thank you.
And
I'm freaking out too much.
cool. So we've got Mary, Finbar, Ramsey, Charlotte, Namaste, Bull. In fact, Ramsey and Gwen can go on respective terms of whoever
Okay.
they are with.
One full away from VD,
Uh,
guys.
Roll for the thing.
Oh.
The thing.
The thing.
Go on
It's
ahead.
actually the thing.
From
This
the
has gone
thing.
Gone full Stephen King on you. I've decided the thing is the way to go with this episode. What did you want to fight? It's fine. It can be that. That's no problem at all. Right. So, what do we all get? We've got Charlotte.
23.
Cool. 23. Nailed it. Finbar, what are you on, buddy?
15.
15. Not bad. Not bad. Bull.
11.
11, solid. The thing I haven't rolled for yet. Charlotte,
6.
the onions are not with you, buddy.
Nope.
They are not.
Maybe there's too many of them getting in your way.
It's all of the onions. They weigh him down.
They are.
And Marie,
I'm at a 5.
a 5. Absolutely nailed it. So
I
let's
am.
let's
I'm
see.
panicking.
On a scale of 1 to all of the fucked, how much in trouble are you? I'm just gonna. It's ooh, buddy. It's a 17. Okay, so it's going in a minute, but you have no idea what this thing is at the moment. You guys are gonna need to make me athletics checks to get out of the water. It's not particularly far. Unfortunately, this is the thing. You've gone into water and you're not sort of prepared for it, and you're wearing armor and stuff. Armor weighs,
Nope.
and when it soaks up water, it starts to weigh you down, and you've got
Nope.
monk excluded, obviously.
She's been naked the whole time. What?
No, I'm wearing fine silk robes because I'm.
They're
an-
ruined. I'm wearing just a robe. And
So
I'm a
it-
sheep.
Just like a normal bathrobe.
Yeah.
Yes. You're going
No,
with
yeah,
it.
Marie had like a
Canon.
bunch of swathi, like light gauzy fabrics around her. So as soon as she's in the water, she's just going to sink.
It's just gone terribly wrong. So yeah, okay, here we go. We've got that. Sweet. That's a dolphin. That's not the enemy you're fighting. I'd be really entertained to just be like, it comes out, it's just. I cannot do a dolphin. Will, do a dolphin impression. You're good at impressions. That's a goat. That is.
I don't know, they sound a bit like that. You know, I was really under
I don't
pressure
know, that's a
there.
horse.
They have like a weird clicky thing going on, don't they?
Perform. Yeah, I can't. That's weird. So yeah, there is something moving in the water. First up, Namaste.
I work on my
Alrighty.
dolphin chat.
Can I identify this creature at all?
You are diving underneath the water, I believe. So first of all, roll me an athletics and then a perception. We'll see how far you get and what you can make out while down there. What do your elf eyes see? You're going to have a little bit more. It's going to be easier for you as you have better vision in the dark, and it's surprisingly quite dark. It seems to go deeper than maybe you
A dark vision, cause I'm half drow.
Oh yeah. So what do we have? We've got a 18. Not bad. You are the fluid. You move. You book it. And as you swim through, you see there is something in the depths below you. It's at first seems to be just it could be anything. It could be a part of the masonry. It could be something. It's got like squares on it, which sort of look like bricks, but it looks like it's covered in mud and filth, and it's just completely still. and it definitely has the appearance of something that is artificial. And then you see something move about maybe 2 meters past it, and it just slowly swishes through the water. It doesn't make any progress, it just moves back and forth, and you notice the silt from the bottom of the moat seems to collect and gather around it. And you realize this thing is quite clearly at least 4 to 5 meters long. It definitely looks like it could potentially be a reptile.
Okay. So, like, maybe some sort of crocodile or alligator.
It's very big to be one of those.
It's a really big crocodile.
Could potentially be a massive crocodile, yeah.
Yes, massive crocodile. Alrighty, well, I am going to swim back up. I'm guessing I can do that.
You can indeed. On an 18, you're pretty mobile. You're goldfishing.
Alrighty, and then I am going to I'm going to burst out of the water, catch my breath, and tell everyone, it's a big reptile down there. Don't know exactly what it is, but it's big and it's reptilian.
I'm still panicking. Just constant panic.
And do I have enough movement to get myself out of the water?
I'm gonna say you can make it to the edge, but it's there's no sort of easy bank. It's a solid. It just drops at 90 degrees. It's like getting out of a pool. So it's gonna be, you're gonna have to wait till your next time to fully pull yourself out.
Alrighty.
At which point there is a disturbance in the water. Mira, you know that moment in Jurassic Park where the water just shifts slightly? You have that exact moment, and it seems to happen like all around you for a second. There is just utter silence, and you're pretty sure that Namasei is talking to you, but there is just complete and total silence. But you notice that it actually seems to move towards Namasei, who's just dived down to say hello to it. And Namasei, this thing is going to make a bite at you. So let me just check this thing's...
We also have a viewer decision, Josh, the first of our day.
Oh, goody!
Oh boy.
Hey guys in chat. So we have this situation. We have a castle that's on the it's half a castle that's on the edge of a cliff face, and it's slowly being sort of excavated by its own means. It's just falling out of the ocean and reattaching itself. The cliff is rebuilding itself, almost the exact opposite of what should be happening, and pieces of the castle are snapping back into place. They've already seen that there is a moving set of armor that is loose, and they have no idea what purpose it serves. There is an orb that is floating around that also potentially serves a purpose. But I want to know, there's something else in the castle. You can choose whether or not it is a good thing, a bad thing. It could be something to aid the party. It could come out and rescue them from the giant fucking crocodile alligator thing. Please eat the party. No
Aid
problem.
the party.
I heard 8.
So yeah, it could be something that comes and helps these guys. It could be something they've got to fight later on. Just let me know what it is in chat down below. Thank you very much. Will, you get to do the...
Shalom's got it, man. It's like the future.
Sweet.
Where I don't do things.
I know. I long for it. I long for that future.
It's like death.
It's... Oh, if only.
Sweet release. Anyway, D&D. Wow.
That dark glance into English life. So, this thing is going to come forth and make a bite at you. Does a 21 hit you?
That hits.
21 hits you. Okay, so you are going to leave the water. Whether you like it or not, you're coming out of the water. But you're coming out of the water in a thing's mouth. It jumps out of the water And if you've seen the more recent Jurassic Park, where that giant fucking, I can't remember the name of it,
The
comes out
mosasaur?
and just, yeah, that's it, yeah, comes out. That has just happened to you. If you imagine, like, the people who go swimming with dolphins and they do that really dramatic, beautiful moment where the dolphin comes up and they stand on the dolphin's nose and it launches itself out. It's like that, except you're in its mouth and it's a crocodile and it fucking hates you for some reason, unknown reason.
That's a good analogy.
It's the exact, it's the perfect analogy. So this thing's gonna make a bite of you. This might hurt a little. This might tickle. I'm not gonna lie. Does 11 piercing?
Good God.
Ow.
It's a really big crocodile. The hungry crocodile.
It's a new booklet you're writing for kids at the moment, The Hungry Crocodile.
Indeed.
That
And then,
almost put me at half of my hit points.
Oh my
Jeez.
God.
first the hungry crocodile, it ate a whole cake, 4 adventurers, and your hand as you were holding this book. It's going to be wonderful. It's instant success. And you are now on the bank of the shore, and you are grappled. This thing has you. While you are grappled, can't make any more bite attacks against anyone else, but it is going to be difficult to escape from it. This thing is... I don't know how many more times I can stress that it's a giant fucking crocodile. So next up, the thing has had its go. Finbar, you are about,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about 40 to 50 feet in the air, standing on an archway, heroic. The wind is sweeping your hair. And you look down as this giant beast rears itself out of the water, lands, and it has one of your party members, and you see blood.
Oh, I see red. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery. And I'm gonna
Cool.
say, you scaly whaley. It's not a whale. But whales are fat. So it can roll a wisdom saving throw from me as I get him.
Nailed it.
That's why they
I'm
call me the
tempted-
finest bard in all the world.
I'm tempted to have you roll a wisdom saving throw for just how bad that was, but I'm feeling generous. It will nat 20.
Fuck.
There is one thing thicker than its hide, and its emotional scales.
Yeah.
That's it. And this thing would retort you, but if it retort you right now, it would have no other way other than spitting your friend at you. It's got plans for you, but later. It's eating now.
And I say, bull, dive! That's the end of my turn.
Well, it is your turn. You are also standing a good 15 feet up. Below you, there is the moat, which is, deep enough probably to dive into from what you've been told. If this thing was lurking down there, it's probably got some depth not to notice it. Other than that, several of your party members are currently in the drink and definitely in trouble, and one of them is in the jaws of a crocodile.
In the arms of an angel.
You are mutarino, I'm afraid.
Someone's weird.
Right.
There you go.
Can I attempt to plunge an attack from where I am?
You want to jump onto this thing.
Yeah, sure. He's not very smart.
Roll me an acrobatics.
Oh no. Right.
I'm also going to give you inspiration for just being a reckless badass. You know what? A 15 ain't bad with a -1. That ain't bad. You're gonna take a little bit damage, but I'm gonna give you a free attack on this thing. Please don't miss, because it would really suck if you missed after all that.
Okay, so as I'm falling, I'm gonna two-hand my longsword for the plunging attack.
Oh yeah.
That's nice. So I need to roll. So do I roll for the hit first, or just roll for the damage?
Roll to hit.
Right, roll to hit.
This is your accuracy as you fly through the air.
Oof.
You miss. You missed rather dramatically. However,
Inspiration? Oh, that was your inspiration.
I'm going to give you a chance. You can spend your inspiration now, or you can save it, hold on to it for a later date if you want.
I'll use it now.
Okay, cool. You can make me a reroll. You have a 14. That is bang on its AC. You hit. You were going to take 4 bludgeoning damage. You would,
Okay.
4 bludgeoning damage from the entire planet as it uppercuts you because you just jumped like an idiot. But roll me damage, and you're going to get some extra damage on top for the fact that you have just dropped 40 to 50 feet to skewer this floor.
Right. So what's that then? What am I rolling?
I'm just gonna give you a straight added 10 damage to whatever you do.
Okay, yeah, fine, right. So that is a right.
Cool. So that's a 18 damage. Okay. You land. You run this thing through. It's not dead, but it's very, very angry and very, very much confused as to what just hit it like a meteorite. As Bull, what do you yell as you throw yourself recklessly at this thing and come hurtling down? You can make this quite a long, dramatic. You've got some time.
No, Bull is not one for much words. He just kind of shouts "have at ye," but the ye just drags until he makes impact.
There is a
Have at
have at
ye.
Pretty much, yeah.
and you land, and you skewer this thing to the floor. It's gonna throw up Nemesis.
Thank you.
It's it's taken like a kidney punch from about 50 stories up with a longsword. It notices, but that is going to be your turn. I'm going to say you were also prone from just going splat straight into the floor. But yeah, you've done it. You've been a badass. Charlotte, you are currently sort of, there's a moment of sheer panic, sudden explosion of water, crocodile slams down, your friend is in trouble, and then literally Bull falls from the sky. Like it rains Bull for a split second. You have no idea where he came from. Last you saw him, he was being crushed by a drawbridge, and suddenly he lands. Maybe he was just squeezed to the point where he just fired into the air and landed here.
Oh,
Probable.
sweet papyrus. Ramsey, what should we do?
Ramsey's just really fluffy by now.
He's
Absorbs loads of water.
I suggest we get out of this water and you go give that big boy a hug.
Oh yeah,
That sounds like a great idea. So Shallon and Ramsey are trying to swim towards the bank, I guess.
Roll me an athletics check for him.
Okay.
See how much progress.
So that was for Shallon. Should I roll one for Ramsey as well?
Yeah, give me one for Ramsey. I feel like there's I should encourage competitiveness between a man and his goat. Oh damn! You guys make progress, but it's all like elbowing each other in the face, like trying to get there first, and you both sort of like pinwheel cartoon style next to each other on the shore, and you have that moment you're sort of like catching your breath, and then you look to Ramsey looks to you, you look to the giant crocodile about 3 foot from your face, Ramsey looks to the giant oh shit, and you can make an action.
I open up my book of spells and I'm like, oh god, which one should we take? The missile one, shall just fire the magic missiles.
Oh, okay. Magic missile.
And I try to cast magic missile.
I love the fact that in my head you just sort
let's
of
see.
open up. Oh, I know
Wait,
it's.
did
I'm not sure why that's.
I
I think. Hold on.
Oh shit! What is it? It's a 1d20 with my intelligent, right?
You don't need to roll to hit. Magic missile literally just goes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
fire at a thing. It hits. I have full
Okay.
cover. I don't care. I hit you. It's,
All right.
it's literally
Totally forgot
the
how
best
that
spell
works.
in the world.
It's been a while since I played.
It's cool.
Wizard.
It's cool.
Okay.
So yeah, just roll me. If you just want to roll me the damage.
Yeah, he's gonna use this at like I think level 1, so he doesn't get the extra bullet. So it's 1d4.
Hmm.
There we go.
It should be more than one. I believe it's like
Oh yeah, it's 3. It's
Yeah.
3. So
Nice.
cool. So damn, yeah, makes a hefty bit of difference as you go from 2 damage to 10 damage as you. What do your magic missiles look? Please say it's small onions. I need it to be small onions.
They're small onions, except for when they hit 4s, they turn into flaming sheep.
You are blowing my damn mind,
Wow.
Alex.
This is how D&D was meant to be played.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you know what? Let's just have a Constitution saving throw. What's this thing's con score? I think it's actually got a decent con. It does, yeah. Okay, cool. So it's gonna make a con save.
Can it withstand the power of a flaming sheep?
13.
Mm.
There's some tears in its eye. I mean, it's just been pelted with onions. It's getting a little bit teary. It's just, it could be the fact that it's been skewered to the floor. This is becoming a sort of. You could make a kebab right now. You've got vegetables. You've got lamb.
Crocodile kebab.
Yeah, crocodile kebab. This is happening. One of the few decisions was literally they decide to eat the crocodile as opposed to. Yeah.
It looks like we have a winner as well, in the form of Steve Irwin coming back from the grave to save us.
Okay, cool. Okay. Oh god, I've got to do Australian. I'm terrible at Australian accents.
Look at the coloration on this one. I love me some Steve.
Okay, so cool. I'm gonna roll Mr. Steve Irwin into the initiative order real quick for you guys. I feel like what, he's gonna have advantage because it's his hometown. Like he's used to this. He's done this before. Full crocs. Would you look at that? He matches the crocodile. He is at 1 with the crocodile.
That's what he would have wanted.
Oh no.
Okay, it's Steve. We all know. I don't need to write it all out. You know who Steve is. Everyone is familiar with Steve. So, on that,
beauty.
What a beauty. Okay. So, on that, we're going to have to move on to, it's terrible, isn't it? It's physically.
Crikey! He was so excited.
He was always so happy. So, Marie, you are in the water, you are hyperventilating, you are flailing wildly, you are making a lot of splash. Not nearly as much splash as would have been made if Bull had missed, but he's hit, and there's a lot of stuff going on the shore. Make me a perception check.
Oh boy. Ooh, okay. Perception. Oh.
Nat 20.
On a nat 20? On a nat 20?
I'm freaking out, and I can see everything.
You have like the moment of panic, and a voice reaches out to you from across. It almost seems that like you have a moment where the light is just reflecting off the surface of the moat, and you have like a mirage appears. It's a figure striding forth. He's wearing very light armor, so light in fact that he appears to be wearing shorts. He's got what appears to be sort of a ranger's shirt on. In one hand, there appears to be what at first looks like it might be a sword, but it appears to also be a fish, like a swordfish. He wields it in one hand. The other hand, there is a giant shield that appears to be made of what can only be described as a huge turtle shell. And there he is, chest on display, striding forth, locks blowing gloriously in the wind. And he comes forth, he looks down, and he says, "Crikey, mate. That's one hell of a crop you got there. You need a hand?"
Sorry. In this moment, I look at him and I say, "I have no idea who you are, but yes, please."
From his pocket, he pulls out a frog. He gets a snake. He squeezes the frog. It's a poison dart frog. It fires a poison dart. It flies straight through the air, misses you just by a fraction, anchors itself into the wall at the foot of the castle. But attached to it is a snake that extends like a rope to him. he has just given you a way to quickly exit the water dramatically. He wraps his hand round. He says, "Don't worry about her. This is Sheila. She won't bite." And with one mighty wrench, he pulls you from the water. You come flying out, and he catches you, puts you down. He turns, and there you stand, dramatically, wind billowing. It's not his turn yet, unfortunately, so he'll go in just a moment. But yeah, he's got the cape billowing as well. His cape looks suspiciously like it might be a giant flat fish of some sort, or maybe a
It's
ray.
a mantis.
It might potentially be a manta ray cloak. I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. You said it, not me.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah, that was a very swoon-worthy moment. So I have a
Indeed.
little bit of a swoon.
Yeah.
And then, how far away am I from this giant crocodile?
You're about 10 feet away, which he advises at this point is you're in the danger zone here. Right, so you got to be careful. Approach with caution. Obviously, these are killing machines. He turns, he smiles to a man who's standing there with some sort of arcane device you've never seen before. The guy's name's Barry. He's just like, "Okay, Barry, just hold back there." And you see him and the sound guy just slowly move back.
Okay. At this point, say, well, I'll see what I can do to help. And I will cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at this giant crocodile. And I'll yell, "Hey, what do you call a crocodile in a vest? An investigator."
Oh,
Wow.
have I been
There's-
outdone?
So bad.
Ramsey kind of like lifts his two hooves and he gives him.
He
silent
clops.
claps.
I do
Good-
a little
good
bow.
One, good one. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You just hear a sigh from atop the giant crocodile from Bull just going, "Ugh."
Shall
I'll
it?
say, you know you love it.
Get Will.
Alright, so yeah, so I will cast that, and
Charlotte just kind of looks at Mira like, I don't get it.
but yeah, you have to do a
Okay,
wisdom
this
saving
thing,
throw.
I'm not very good at whiz saves.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, not okay. It's
I need my safe place.
This is secretly my plan to just keep using puns until all of you die of laughter.
That's true. That's definitely what is going to happen. Absolutely flawless. It's a free. This croc is just overwhelmed. It's the funniest thing, and thank goodness he spat Namaste out, because otherwise he'd just be repeatedly opening and closing his jaws in laughter and potentially kill her. But this croc rolls over. Bull, you were thrown. You managed to grab your sword and sort of like do the superhero landing to the side of it. But this croc is now on its back, rolling around with laughter. You can see there's blood seeping from. You've run this thing the whole way through, and the exit wound is just seeping with blood. But it's just trying desperately to clap its hands together to laugh, but it can't reach. It's just flailing randomly, yeah, that's a dramatic turn. Namaste, you're up. You're out of the water. You're free of the croc. You've taken some nasty bites, but you see, this is the first you're going to notice. You see Mira. Mira's just there. You see no one with her. Mira's the only person who seems to be able to see a mystical person. No one else knows.
So she just magically like leaped out of the water.
You just see her. She literally just parallel swims way over and climbs out of the water and is now standing there dramatically, sort of talking with the air.
I'm going to kind of ignore what just happened, and I'm going to pull out my short sword and I'm going to attack.
Okay, roll me that attack.
And I'm going to
A 20 is a hit. Roll me damage. Oh, 7. There we are. Oh, damn. Okay, this thing is actually not looking particularly good.
And
so
then-
this,
I'm guessing I can hit again.
you can indeed.
I'm gonna hit again. That definitely hits if the last one hit.
Yep. Tell me how you almost coup de grace this thing in one.
Well, since it's laying on its back, I'm just gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna just leave a big old gash wound down its underbelly.
Okay. You
And-
you managed to carve it open pretty nice, pretty tasty.
And then I go on ahead and I bring my short sword back up, just feeling like just this kind of rage almost that this thing grabbed me, almost brung me down to half of my hit points. And I'm just gonna go on ahead and try to chop its head off.
You drive down the blade. Unfortunately, it's rolling around, and you get a good hit, but it's just rolled onto its side, and you dig into some scale on the side of its neck. You don't go through as you are intending to. You pull it back. It's not quite the coup de grace, but this thing is definitely it's laughing, it's crying, it's got onion juice in its eye. It can't tell if it's the best day ever or the worst day ever. It's definitely a day. It's definitely happening. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's all a fantasy role-playing game. Who knows?
Vicious
and on that-
rumor and lies. I will have none of that talk around here.
And on that, Steve,
Oh, Steve.
who we've now discovered might or might not be Mira's spirit guardian, here to guide her through her terrifying fear, summoned in times of great need. He strides forth. And you guys just see Mira stride forth with a confident swag. She definitely holds herself differently. She's got this burning look in her eyes of someone who's there with a purpose, not necessarily on the warpath, but there with a purpose. Steve steps forward. He looks at this crocodile. He's gonna roll a nature check. Let's just see.
I'm letting you know now,
Steve,
Josh.
when-
If Steve dies in this game, it's over. We're done.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, cool.
I,
Well, I was just thinking,
I will unionize.
this is Steve Irwin, so like I've got his stats in front of me. I pulled them up from the official Player's
Mhm.
Handbook.
Yeah. Latest
So,
edition.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
That's good. It's actually under average for
That-
Steve.
it's not great. I mean, that's still 100. That's 100 million.
100 million at
So there's
least.
100 million, 15, 100 million and 15. So not
Good.
bad.
Not
Not
bad.
bad. It's, we're all better. And yeah, he strides forth and instantly he can tell what kind of croc this is. Amira, you are told that this is crikey, this is one of the biggest crocodiles I've seen. The problem about this is a saltwater crocodile, and the problem with saltwater crocodiles is the fact that my Wikipedia page won't load fast enough for me to give you a load of random facts about saltwater
Saltwater
crocodiles, so I can't do it. No. It's definitely that, and he rambles off all these interesting facts, but he makes them sound so electrifying to the point where you're not afraid anymore. You're not afraid of this crocodile, and he steps forth and he kneels by it, and the crocodile in its writhing death throes and the laughter and everything, it lashes out. Steve catches it in his hands, and he's just holding this beast now, and he's almost laid back, and he pulls out a little drop of little bottle, little dropper, and he just dabs little drops in this thing's eyes, and you see the lids close and open, and its vision it goes from being red and bloodshot to calmer. And it's this biggest problem crocodiles face in the wilderness is random attacks by onions. It's a national epidemic, and it's the sort of thing that no, we're really doing what we can out here to try and prove to these people that don't understand out here in the new Halfland, the new Outback, as I like to know it. It's a tragedy, really. So I'm just so glad to see that adventurers like you here to help. And this is Mira saying all of this in a strange accent that you've never heard her speaking before. But Mira, this is Steve speaking to you, and he just says, the biggest problem is that people don't understand the crocodiles. They're not bloodthirsty killing machines. They're territorial. And that's the thing you have to understand. You're in its domain, okay? And while you're here, you have to treat it with respect or it will attack you. And it's just trying to protect its own part of the swamp, their own part of the moat. And that's the thing we can all learn from this here. And he looks to the crocodile. The crocodile looks back to him. And given inspiration by Steve, it stops laughing. It makes its whiz save at last. And he just says, nah, this thing's still mighty pissed off. I'm gonna release it back. And you guys are gonna have to just keep your distance, okay? And Mira gestures for you all to stand back, but Steve is there. He's holding it down. You guys don't see anyone holding it. The crocodile just seems to have gone suddenly calm. Stopped driving around, and Mira is just talking to it. And it seems absolutely fine. Ramsey, however, being blood of the animal, can see this visage. This faint glowing, it's not quite perfect, but he definitely sees this figure standing there speaking.
And Ramsey pulls a hoof underneath his eye and he wipes away tears. That is the most beautiful thing I ever heard. Charlotte, you could learn a thing or two from this man.
Yeah, at this point, I've like fallen to my knees. Like this, clearly this man, this god, I don't even know, has come to, save us, and had totally blown my mind. Like Marie had no idea what to do at this point.
Yeah. So he turns to you, and this thing starts sort of twitching, and he's holding onto it, and it looks like it's a bit of a struggle for him, but he's making it work. And then he pulls a huge hunk of meat from his pocket, and you guys watch as Mira pulls a small bowl with a leaf over it from her pocket. She peels it back. He throws the meat, she throws the soup, and he releases with a nice shoulder check, and this thing just corkscrews after the said food, grabs it, snaps it up in his jaws, and it dives into the water. And as that happens, Mira, you have Steve standing next to you. He's standing on the other side now, and he crouches beside you. He says, Mira, you never need to be afraid. I will always be with you.
Charlotte kind of like looks over at Mira and was like, wait.
I think that has onions in it. I think I tasted onions in there. Oh no.
And you watch as Erwin vanishes. He slowly fades. But there is a split second where you see like the symbol. He fades, but behind him, his cloak still billows, and it drops to the floor. And on the floor before you, which everyone will now see, sort of materialize out of thin air, is a cloak that looks like a cloak of the manta ray. And that's exactly what it is, which is a real, actual, goddamn D&D thing. It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide and everything. And I hereby bestow it upon you with all the authority that I am granted by the majesty that is Mr. Erwin. Moment of silence.
Hooray!
Moment of silence. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Give him the time.
So at this moment, I'm just like, well, I know he's been saying my name wrong the entire time, but wow, that just happened, right, guys? That
Totally just happened.
I mean, you just subdued a giant crocodile. I mean, holy shit. Great papyrus by the rhymes and layers.
me? I didn't do that.
I mean, you did. Ramsey, she did it, right?
I mean, I saw something, but I'm just a
Also,
sheep.
where the hell did that cloak come from?
Well, it was the guy with me. I
What
don't know how-
guy?
The one
There
who
was
did-
no one there. You did all of that.
I did?
Yes, you somehow leaped from the moat and just started sauntering over here.
I need to sit down for a second, and I kind of just sit, holding the cloak in my hand.
You get the sensation, and this is definitely magical. Charlotte will definitely pick up that this is a magical cloak. And I've placed it there in roll 20, but I'll read it out to you guys. The Cloak of the Manta Ray. It's a wondrous item. It's uncommon. And while wearing this cloak, with its hood up, you can breathe underwater, and you have a swimming speed of 60 feet. Putting the hood up or down requires an action. There you are. This is the Cloak of Irwin. It's glorious. It's majestic.
Mm-hmm.
He's passed it on to you, your legacy. Also, while you wear this cloak, you also have proficiency in the Australian accent.
Wow.
It's just an unintended consequence.
That's a
that
rare
comes
item.
with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It bumps it up.
The rarest of items.
Yeah.
Charlotte pulls out the Dungeon Master's Guide and makes like a little post-it note on the Cloak of the Manta Ray. Alternate versions, Steve Irwin's cloak. Let's see. And proficiency in Australian accent.
So, Charlotte, could you tell me about who that man was?
What are you talking about? I didn't see
Oh,
a
man.
man.
Okay.
I didn't see anyone.
Okay, Ramses, you saw that, right?
I mean, I saw blinding light of immaculateness and sexiness, but oh man, I don't know who that was, but he was carrying a swordfish and a turtle shell.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know how.
That was glorious how he subdued that crocodile.
Yeah, it was so great, and like, you could practically see the heart eyes going on here.
I mean, my heart was doing palpitations. It was that glorious.
Well, I'm glad you had such an experience. It must be like going to one of my concerts. Perhaps we should venture further into the castle and find if there's anything within, now that we've dealt with our crocodile friends.
Yes, let's try that. Now, how exactly are we gonna get over there now?
Finbar hasn't jumped down. Finbar is
I
still
am up here, and I have a rope. And I'm gonna unveil my rope downwards.
And, you throw your rope, and it makes it sort of like across the moat, lands on the other side, and Ramsey just grabs hold of it, like with his teeth, bites it, almost like pulls Finbar clean off the edge. But he holds it taut, and you guys now have a way to shimmy your way up to the top. And just above you, almost within arm's reach, Finbar, you'd have to probably jump and make a grab for it, but there is the edge of the wall where there appears to be sort of a place where archers would move around and watch down over the moat itself. So there you are.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll jump up there if I can, and tie the rope around, help people up onto the parapets.
Indeed.
Word.
I'm gonna go on ahead and climb the rope.
You guys all managed to easily make your way up. I'm not gonna make you roll for anything for it. You guys get up and
Shallot kind of like gets on the back of Ramses and tries to like get on the rope, putting his foot as it slips and starts kicking Ramsey in the face. God damn it, Shallot, just get up the damn rope.
How does
Sorry.
the sheep get? How does the sheep get up there? I'm interested.
He as everyone else gets up the rope, he kind of takes his hoof and tries to like fasten it around his stomach.
I love the idea. So you guys get to the top and you look down to see like Ramsey, because Ramsey's like securing this rope, holding it taut for everyone. You get to the top, you look down, Ramsey isn't there. The rope just falls into the water. And then you turn around, Ramsey is just standing on the parapet. It's that classic thing that happens in video games where you look away from your companion, and then you look back and it just teleports it to you.
Yeah.
I whistle for Roach.
It just appears instantly.
Come on, Ramsey. What? Wow! I didn't know you were a teleporting sheep.
I'm not. You just weren't looking.
That is one very clever sheep.
I really want to have like a game which is just like a compilation of all the moments where people aren't looking at Ramsey, and it's him like playing like Rochambeau with people, like Russian roulette with a bunch of like really mean-looking thug cows and stuff. It's gonna be wonderful.
And like every time somebody looks over at him, it just kind of like goes like Toy Story, where they all.
It's
just look
completely normal. Yeah, it's completely normal. And then you see like it from Ramsey's perspective, and they're all like there's like a shootout going on, and then you cut back and they're just munching on grass. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So yeah, you guys are up the top. You can see two ways. You can go left or right, and you can make your way down. There's a spiral staircase that leads down into the building itself, which will lead you guys to the balcony area where there is floating orb, but you don't see any aforementioned armor on your way through.
Are you sure there was armor? Because I don't see any armor.
You do notice she can point out the fact that there are definitely two plinths, one on each side, in exactly the same place, sort of a mirror copy, where there definitely was something. There's no plaque or anything to say what was there, but there's quite clearly mountings for a thing.
It was right here. I'm not crazy.
I believe you.
Thank you.
I guess I could inspect the area to see what might have been there. I mean, it was a suit of armor, but is there like any other? I guess I'll have to roll.
You can make me an investigation. You can make me an arcana. You could.
Oh, arcana. Yeah. I can do that.
I'm also gonna make
No, I can't.
an arcana check to see if I can figure out what the heck it was.
Wizard does not know anything
Nope.
about magic.
You guys are getting thrown off by all the background magic that is sort of humming in the area, but it does give you both a foul taste in your mouth. Whatever this magic is, it's not pleasant.
Ramsey, did you fart?
No, Charlotte, that must be the residual magic in the area. How do you know that? I'm a magic sheep.
Don't question the sheep.
Never.
Yeah,
question.
it's never.
So is
never
there
question Ramsey.
is there a path forward where if the suit of armor did somehow move, it could have gone down like a corridor or anything like that, or a doorway?
Would there be any tracks?
There are no tracks. There doesn't appear to be any dust. This place seems like not used, but there is no trace of like this fact that this place being an old, unused barren castle. All of the tables are in mint condition. They look like they've, been recently brought in and laid out. There's no food, but there is actually like the occasional candle that is sort of set, or like a candle display of candles that are standing there. None of them are lit. This whole place looks like it's never been used, but at the same time has only just arrived, is brand new, if that makes sense. There's no sense of decay here. So no, you find no tracks. It's a solid flagstone floor. I will just say, can we just have a moment for the most Welsh moment we've ever had on the show? Just never question the sheep. So yeah, what are you guys doing? You can still see the orb is still just plain as day. It's pacing around, sort of like moving its way up and down past sort of chairs. It doesn't necessarily always follow the same pattern, but occasionally it loops around. Occasionally it hovers over the throne.
I think Shallot would pull out his one of his books from his backpack, and kind of like, it's a book on religion, and he's like, maybe it's a religious orb, and just that orb of pure light. And he tries to see if he can identify any religious scriptures that talk about a flying orb.
You can roll me a religion, yeah. As you guys
all right.
Nailed it.
you look down and you're like,
I can't read anymore.
there's only one thing this could possibly be. That is God, or a God. There must be it. This is literally, it's either God or it is a Pokeball that is overloaded in the most possibly captured, when someone accidentally captures Mewtwo with a basic Pokeball, it just completely blows the whole universe out of proportion. like something. This just blows your mind.
Wow. Guys, I found God. I know people said that, he was
Oh my
absent, but
God,
here
where?
he is.
I'm gonna.
Right here.
What?
Really?
Oh, God.
Is that him?
I don't.
I guess he's one of them. I
I-
mean, my deity's knowledge, but
Oh.
hey, it's a God.
Violet.
I
God.
don't think that's actually a god.
Are you sure?
It definitely isn't Loaf. Loaf hates light. This is like the anti-Loaf. Definitely not your god. Drow are not fond of light in any way.
Can I?
That's
take
why
a-
I'm half drow.
That's
I can
why
tolerate it.
Can I take a moment to see if anything about this orb of light? I have just had a practically religious experience with this
You have.
figure. I want to see if I get any sense of that coming off of this orb.
Sensibly Owen.
Roll me an Arcana check or religion check, depending on how your experience was. Rate your experience with
Yeah,
Steve.
give a Yelp review for
Was it
Was it
fucking
magical or was it
Wow.
godlike?
It's gonna be either or. I'm gonna go with Arcana.
I'm gonna give you a shitty review, Steve.
This definitely you don't get the magic of the outback. You don't sense that sort of vibe from it. This is not that kind of magic. This is something old, very old. You actually will be able to pick out that this light is magical, but it doesn't fit the background magic that is in the area. Around you, everything seems to be giving you this sort of like aforementioned foul taste, as if there's something wrong with this place. It's almost like a niggling bad memory that you just can't quite recall. Like when you wake up from a bad dream and you can't remember why, or that sudden like panic of I've forgotten something, but I cannot remember what it is for the life of me. All these mixed feelings of it's right there, but you can't quite grasp it. That seems to be completely different. That doesn't seem negative or foul or wrong in any way. It seems pure. It seems honest. It seems kind and warm. Yeah, it's a very different sense.
Right. So guys, I'm pretty sure this isn't God or gods or some god
Oh.
or
Darn it.
whoever was with me, but this is good magic. I know that much. I can't say about the rest of the place. The rest of the place does not seem like good magic, but this is good magic, and I'm not sure what it's doing here.
Oh, you think it's magic? Let's see. Well, I got a book
Right here, and he reaches into his
Another
bag.
book.
I
Another
have a
book.
feeling you've read quite a bit today, and I feel like maybe you should. Well, let's just encounter it, maybe. Say hello. I mean, if it's good magic, what harm can it be?
I mean,
Poke it, lick it.
Is there any furniture I can throw at it?
Are there any?
Furniture.
Throw Ramsey at it. Just,
Yeah, there's just behind you. There's like a display like some kind of silver plate, probably not silver the whole way through, but you can heft one easy. You want to make a shot?
Yeah, sure.
Roll me just a dex check. No proficiency with, unless you've got proficiency with hurling candlesticks wildly through the air at
Nope.
giant orbs.
Right. So dexterity, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to nat 20 so hard.
Please,
Please.
please.
Oh my god.
No way!
Absolutely filthy.
Oh my gosh!
The power of the
Big
DM
dice.
is unparalleled. You sort of like you stand there. You're just like everyone is chatting around you, and just sort of like coming up with all these ridiculous things. Bull looks at it and wonders, "Can I hit it?" And you turn around and there's a candlestick behind you. It's not quite long enough. Bull's a big guy. It's not quite long enough. I mean, to a gnome or a halfling, it'd be like a javelin. But you look at it, and you think, "Yeah, I'll make it work." Pick it up, and just heft it as hard as you can. It soars through the air. You watch as this corkscrew. It's like a trident at the end. So you've got these 3 candles. None of them fall out. It hits the orb and freezes in place. But you do watch as all 3 candles light off the energy coming from it, and it slowly comes to stop. Lands on the floor. The orb stops moving. It's the first time it's properly stopped, frozen in place. The glowing around it, the slight distortion of light, seems to intensify, and it starts to get bigger quite quickly.
How
And
you've
you
made it
realize-
angry!
Yeah, I
In
turn
those-
around and I go, "What do you
It's-
do?"
It's
bad. This is very
bigger.
bad.
Right now.
Well, at least I did something.
Ramsey's sitting there like, oh man, that was spot on. Give me some hoof.
I admit that was rather impressive. And rather stupid at the same time.
I don't know. Just kind of thought I would try something. It did something, so it's better than nothing.
He's
It
true.
is true.
It did a thing, and things are always good, usually.
And as you guys are sort of discussing how impressive the throw was, this orb has gained on you to the point it's now hovering right in front of the balcony, which is a floor up. It's just there in the air. And it currently has a candlestick attached by one single point right at the tip of the flame. Is just attached to the bottom of it, where it
Just
seems to
the
have
tip.
rotated downwards. And it looks to you and says, "Oh, it's stuck. This is embarrassing."
You need a hand there, old chap.
The orb jiggles in the air, and you watch as the candlestick just jiggles with it, doesn't move. Just it's frightfully embarrassing. And,
Do you need help?
Would you mind? I appear to have that was a jolly remarkable throw, good sir. I mean, you've got one hell of an arm. I felt that. Yeah. So anyway,
I go on ahead and I go and I take the candle and I try to pull it.
You pull the candlestick, and you just pull. The candlestick comes away. There's still a candle attached by a single point of flame, but the other 2 come away, as does the candlestick. And this thing is now just looks like a lollipop, just a giant glowing ball of light and a candle. That's what lollipops look like, right?
Right.
Totally a thing.
Something like that.
Welcome to England.
Looks like
Candy
he
is weird.
looks like he has a dingleberry coming out of his butt.
He does indeed. That's exactly what it is. Ramsey, I'm just saying.
Excuse me, Orb. Are you okay?
Define okay.
Are you well? Comfortable?
I have been better. I can't stretch. Haven't been able to stretch for about 4,000 years.
Oh.
4,000.
Yeah, indeed. I had a crick in my foot, like when you get cramp in the arch of your foot.
Oh, I
About
know.
4,000 years ago when this all started, and I haven't been able to stretch it for that time. So sometimes it drives me to the point of insanity, and other times I can just sort of ignore it. I go through phases of about 10 years.
Oh man.
May I ask, I don't mean to offend, but you do not have a physical form of a human or a creature that I am familiar with. You are quite literally a circle of light. So how exactly can you get foot cramps?
Let's not be insensitive to the fella.
I'm not
I'm
trying
not-
to be insensitive. I mean no harm. I am just curious.
I'm not a circle. I'm a sphere.
A
Put on
sphere.
level.
I'm
Come on.
sorry.
Weight of late. Thank you for bringing it up.
Wow.
A little bit more curvaceous.
Terribly sorry.
You know what?
You
You are
couldn't
looking great
fall.
right now. I have to say, you are looking fine.
The light dims slightly, and then
I
Finbar
have to say, you
compliments it
have
and it
curves in
glows.
all the right places.
It does a 360 spin on the spot, candle going with it, and it glows a little brighter, and it says, "Well, thank you." Don't know my wife catch you saying that. She might get jealous. She is also just an orb, so never mind. Yes. So why are you all here? It's been a long time since we've had any guests.
Well, we came here because the people down in the village of Haven Docks were like, hey, there's a strange phenomenon of the cliff and the fort on the cliff and the tumbling cliff just coming back up and repairing itself. So we came to check it out, and then all of a sudden, there was runes. We heard an evil, sinister voice.
It sounded like it was abyssal. Did I forget to tell you guys that? We might be dealing with the demon.
Yeah, and there's also a figure that I saw briefly up on the roof, and I'm not sure what that was either. And we just fought something in the moat, so it's been quite.
What do you mean you fought something in the moat? What did it look like?
A giant crocodile.
It was like a giant reptilian. I think it's known as a crocodile or alligator.
It's weird. I used to keep newts in the river, but it's been 4,000 years, I suppose. I suppose they got bigger. Interesting. Well, yes, this is the halls of Horus, or the Knights of Horus. This is our stronghold. What it was before we were reduced to orbs and betrayed. So yes, it's well, it's lovely to have you all.
Our pleasure. What can we call you, Orb?
I was just about to ask that.
I am Lord Horus.
Horus.
Of the Horus Knights. But I'm afraid you might all be about to die.
Ah. Oh.
Ha!
Wait.
Finally.
Oops.
Why? Why would that be?
Well, that's what happens to people who come here.
Right.
See, we just sort of. I mean, I can't help you because I don't have any arms or legs or a head or
Okay.
weapons or armor
Are
or
the-
a shield
Are the people
friends,
who
or
usually?
emotions
Okay. We're your friends.
or future life prospects.
We'll
Is
see.
there any way that we can help you maybe get your form back?
You could kill him. And
Kill
be a
who?
start.
Oh,
Who are we killing?
not Steve.
Not me. Not me.
Stendamar.
Stendamar.
Yes, he was. He's a drow. He came to us.
Well, they're all criminals, aren't they? Oh, sorry.
Excuse me!
Sorry.
Shots fired.
I
Just
will
being
hit
honest.
Finbar up the top of his head.
Let's be
Thank you.
Let's be
I
real.
mean-
Oops.
You're
Upside his
sensitive
head.
about my heritage.
I whisper.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I concur with Finbar. I've never met a drow that was nice.
I hoof him.
Nemesis is fuming right now. She's just silently fuming.
I
Just
pat
with
her on the
a
shoulder.
Thumbs up in the background, just like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm patting her on the shoulder. Being like,
So triggered.
"Okay."
So triggered.
Nemesis is very triggered.
So yeah, he says, be that as it may, Stendamar is not from such a reputable background as yourself, and you notice the candlestick moves. It sort of tilts backwards, almost as if he's bowing towards you, but he's an orb, so who knows? And he says, you understand, we back in those days we didn't have much communication with drow, but they weren't thought high of. So I sent and they returned, and they told us that the drow were willing to make a truce with us. So in exchange, we would have an ambassador with them, and they would have an ambassador with us. Stendamar was who they sent us.
May I ask the ambassador's name for the drow?
Stendamar. That's his name.
Ah.
He's the one who. Well, he's still here. He still lurks.
Does Stendabar have a last name?
I believe it was Coxius.
Coxius.
Oh.
Do I know anyone from that name?
You can roll me a history check.
I don't get advantage because he's part of
This
my
is-
people.
new. This is like fourth new. I mean, you maybe have heard like Coxius is, Coxima, different like iterations as it's changed, as it's passed down through the centuries of different families split off and joined with other families. But I mean, it's an old name, very old name.
I wonder
But
if
whoever this is, he's old.
I wonder if I have a book. So I open up my pack and try to look for.
Do you have books just about everything?
I grew up in a scholastic monastery. Like a giant
That
library.
makes sense. I did grow up in a library, so I do understand that.
How many books do you have at any given point in time? Because I think I've seen you pull out at least 3 at this
Do
point.
you have one on me, more importantly?
Actually, I have the full compilation of Finbar's lyrics right here, and I was actually going to ask you to sign it for me at the end of our quest.
I guess I can.
But let's see. I got Encyclopedia Phrobazica. Let's see. Here we go. Elven houses, and there's a small excerpt for drow houses. Let's see if they're in there.
You're met with a similar. You find various iterations. However, you do find that there is almost a gap. So you're looking back through like a family tree that sort of stretches back quite a considerable way through the centuries, but nowhere near back as far back as this guy proclaims to be from. However, there's like a gap, and it's noticeable. It's like there's a missing branch, and it's not like it's been scribbled out or anything like that, or like the page has been torn away. There is just a gap where sort of like in every other bit they've crammed in as much as they can, but there is a suspicious space that is left empty, and it should be linked to similar names to Coxius, but it's just not there at all in any way. So,
Somebody did nasty, but didn't want anyone to know about it.
I concur.
Very strange.
I'm going to say no, probably not. Again, this is ancient sort of history, but
ancient history. Okay.
Yeah, this is like an absence that has deliberately not been recorded for one reason or another. This is so. He's been sort of doing experiments here ever since, and every now and again he reclaims part of what he took from us.
I see. Where could we find this man, or whatever it is?
Drow.
Sure, drow.
My court wizard, he had chambers just past the throne room. Down the corridor, there is a large arcane ruined door made of gold and black metal. You could find him through there, I would imagine, though he has runes that keep us out. We have no way of opening doors, but usually we can travel through the walls. Not there, you see. It's guarded, warded.
Can you lead us there?
I can show you there, absolutely. I'm a little more than a torch at this point. Sorry, I just get a little bit.
I understand.
Would it make you feel?
It's a sensitive topic that should be treaded lightly on. And I glare at Finbar.
I'm not gonna tread on him. I'm not the one that called him a piece of whatever you said.
At this point, I just try to reach out and just...
Don't worry, I'm not gonna be a drow about it.
Back.
Oh, snap.
If there was some way...
Like, there is a crossbow at Nemesis' side that she is just toying with the trigger right now.
Ooh. Come on then, Horus, let's find this devil of yours.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I go right up to... I'm walking right next up to Horus, and I'm kind of like... I pat him in the least condescending way I can, as a reassurance.
You pat him, and it sort of like flinches away for a moment. He's kind of lukewarm like a bath that's been run and then left for a little bit too long. He's not like burning hot like you might expect, or freezing cold. He's just sort of there. He's not
Okay.
particularly radiant. He's just, you pat him and he just seems to, this way, and he proceeds to move straight back in the straight line. If you follow him, you fall off a balcony, just so you know.
Oh.
How
Where's-
far down?
It's about 30 feet. You guys can
I'll jump
totally...
down.
you guys totally-
Excuse me.
I'll jump down.
Has he noticed that he's gone on without us?
No, he's
Can I?
he's no
Can I
idea.
attempt, can I attempt to throw the
Like,
candles?
is he? Okay, hold on. Before I jump down, is he actually going down,
Yeah, he's going
or
down.
is he just going straight across?
No, he's going down. But,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know,
then I
he
jump
doesn't
down.
need to- Yeah. Right. Make me another attack. I tell you what. If you nat 20 this, I will just. I don't even know anymore.
So that,
I fear
The
balls.
acrobatics.
Nope.
Oh, no. Okay, so
I'm using
Booyah.
a fucking rope.
I am very
So,
proficient at
Go,
acrobatics.
Bull.
you throw, and you throw hard, clean, and it sails through the air, and it looks like it's the perfect shot. But then you realize that it just sails straight past him, and it impacts into the throne, knocking the throne over. And as it knocks over, you see that it skitters into a large alcove that is just behind, that is covered by this huge banner. And you see movement behind it as something steps out. Is covered head to toe by the banner, but it looks like there is a figure. Definitely sounds like it's wearing armor. You've definitely got its attention as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
you land on the
joy.
same floor as this thing, no problems.
Great. Lovely. Awesome.
How does everyone? You guys? I presume you guys are roping it down.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
jumped down.
I'm
mean-
not doing that.
not bragging or anything, but just throw myself.
I just I jump down and I just do like a small I walk past Bull. Like I go down and I help Bull up.
Yeah.
I'm-
Okay. Yeah. I'm just roping down. I'm not taking my chances here.
You guys are all faced with a large hulking set of armor that steps round. This is indeed the same set of armor, or a similar set of armor. It has the emblazoned dragon and the man standing behind it, holding a staff and a sword radiating with light. And he comes round and stands, slamming a great sword down into the floor, in a sort of sentinel position in front of the throne.
Lord Orcus?
Lord Orcus.
Fuck me.
Or
Pretty sure Orcus is like the biggest demon in the.
or
yeah.
This
or
guy's Stedamar or something, right?
Alright.
bleh. My lord,
My lord.
please tell
Bruh.
me that is a friend and not a foe.
The candlestick sort of slowly turns, or the candle turns as the orb rotates. He says, "What? Oh, this is Chauncey. Chauncey, these are
Fuck me.
people who are planning to." These are people who are planning to go down and rid us of these problems. If the usual happens, just clean it up. And the armor just slowly brings a gauntleted fist up, hammers it home against the sigil as a sort of form of salute. To leave some. You're doing fantastic.
Oh, you are breaking up like
And,
oh shit right now, Josh. Again, say that sentence again.
Yeah. So basically, his housekeeper, this general named Chauncey, clasps the corner on his chest, nods, and he doesn't to stop you, but it seemed like you not tolerate violence towards the throne.
Uh-oh.
You're still kind of breaking up though, but I think I got most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got most of it too.
How big is this armor?
Completely larger than your average human.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, Chauncey. Well, it seems like a fine gentleman. Is this the same suit of armor you saw before, Nemesis?
Similar, maybe. I don't know if it's the exact set of armor, but it definitely does look like it.
Well, it's walking, so I guess likelihood is. So, can Chauncey help us?
He shakes his head and says, "There's an effect on the doors. It's an anti-magic field. It stops magic from passing through. Only also stops his magic from seeping out and causing carnage in this place. Otherwise, he'd lose this entire fort. It works both ways. But unfortunately, the second Chauncey would to step through there, he would become completely immobile, and therefore would be vulnerable to the sorcerer." He sort of like almost spits the word out with distaste within. And I'd rather he didn't get his hand on some of our finest armor. You see?
Right.
Understandable.
Oh, fair enough. Well, nice to meet you, Chauncey. A pleasure.
Chauncey once again clasps his gauntleted fist. Actually, he just holds it out for a little fist bump.
I oblige.
Little fist bump.
Yeah, take a little one.
The tiniest fist bump.
The tiniest fist bump, yeah. He nods.
All right,
You,
well, forward, shall we?
Yeah, let's go deal with the sorceress. Come on, Ramsey. Ramsey, where are you?
Ramsey, you turn back. Ramsey is just perched on, not the throne itself. He's sat on one of the smaller thrones, like obviously meant for the royal family or whoever these lords were, but not the one that was knocked over, the big, intimidating one. He's just sat there. He's got his rear legs are sort of like crossed, and he's just leaning back. And he just looks very majestic sat there. He's got a hoof on each arm. He looks like he's there to take court. He looks very lost in the moment.
Ramsey looks at Chauncey. Chauncey, get rid of him. And he kind of like makes a little hoof motion. It's like, come on, Ramsey.
Chauncey literally takes a step forward to you all, lifts the sword, and then pauses, looks back, shakes his head, and goes back to the sentinel position.
Come on, Ramsey. Stop being foolish.
Ramsey just gets off. And
I think Chauncey's had enough. We really ought to look into this, whatever the drow-named fellow was. Let's see if we can sort him out and get our friend Orbus out of that rather lovely-looking, I'll admit, orb.
Yes, that'd be the right direction to go, I believe.
Yes, Orbus, if you don't mind.
Oris leads you round behind sort of the throne area and into a corridor. It's like a forked corridor. It seems you can approach from either side, but it leads into one central chamber that has many doors that lead off into different areas, all of which seem to be very, very locked and barred. However, you do hear wind rushing past in some areas, as if you guys are walking sort of over the cliff. The floor is solid, but outside you see like through slits that seem to look through into other rooms. Suddenly you are looking out and you realize that whatever this part of the castle this is, it is literally like hanging over the edge of the cliff. There's nothing to either side of this corridor, and you arrive at a large black and gold sealed circular door. It's a heavy vault looking door with arcane sigils carved in exquisite detail in ancient tongues, but in tongues that you could still sort of make out. They look to be common of some sort, but they use very archaic terms, and all of them seem to be steeped in mystery. And you get there, and Oris just says, "I can disable all of the, I can disable all of the rooms. You see, I was the one who had permission to come here. Problem is, I don't have any hands, so I can't open the bloody door."
Do you think maybe, well, we have Shallot here, who is also able to wield arcane magic. Do you think you could teach him how to do it?
I suppose.
We could just open the door.
Well, no. I mean, it seems like a reasonable assumption. I mean, you might need it on the other side to get out. I mean, how long do you have?
I guess we got as much time as it takes us to get through that door.
About 15 minutes.
Oh,
I have a feeling we're going to need more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you had 40 or 50 years, I mean, I could probably teach you.
Right.
40 or 50 years?
Yes.
That's what he said. Damn.
Oh, well. Ramsey, what do you think?
Ramsey just kind of looks over the light orb. Well, I know a few tricks of the trade. If you want to kind of tell me what you need me to press, and I'll press it. I got hooves, you see.
Ramsey gets a roll from the orb, whatever that means. You're not really sure. And he just says, Ramsey, I think you might have just what we need. You see this here, where there's a central circle that is pushed away, that's sort of a plinth, but facing us, in the center of the door.
Yeah.
See this half here, it's sort of split with a wavy line. If you push on this side here.
This one right here?
Yes.
All right.
On 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ramsey opens the door. Nailed it.
You guys are a bunch.
Well played.
You guys,
Well then.
Great job.
That was my suggestion, I might add.
it was Finbar's suggestion. I just kind of will.
I will take all credit, I guess. All right, let's go on in.
Oris doesn't take any further floating. He doesn't float any further. As you notice, as the door opens inwards, the door frame has a burning red sort of field that seems to actually cover the entire door. So as you push it forward, you see Ramsey's hoof go straight through it, comes back completely unharmed. But there appears to be some sort of field, and beyond it, there is an ethereal room that has absolutely no. It's just a ghost room. It's large. It seems to be a wizard's workshop of some sort. But yeah, you are looking.
I am going to gingerly put my hand to this barrier.
Cool. You put your hand through. It goes through. It feels odd. Feels very warm. But on the other side, like the second you get through that breach, but you pull it back, no other effect really.
All right, I walk in.
Cool. You step through. As you take a step forward, your foot. So through the floor is sinks straight through it, and you have that moment where you are looking at the rocks, maybe 200, 300 feet below you, jagged rocks at the edge of the cliff. This is how you die. You see that, you're like, fuck. But as the last part of your body clears the field, you guys watch as she turns entirely ethereal, and in return, the room you are currently in becomes real, and you are pushed, your foot, which has vanished halfway through the floor, is forced out with quite some force as you go splat on a solid flagstone floor. She just completely gone ethereal. You can still see her, but to you, when you look back, they are all ethereal. As is the castle that you just come from. You are now on a separate part, and from which side, it's interesting. quick save.
Yeah, I quick load. I go back.
I run to a campfire.
The perfect emote to show Never say slots right now.
Just
There we go.
Yeah. So you
Break it up.
you are incredibly.
Josh, you're breaking up.
Break it up again, buddy.
My back.
Yeah, I want to say yes, but honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, Marie is kind of just trying. She sticks her hands through, then just kind of nopes, and she's watching them say, being like, I don't know if we should go through, but
I don't want to do what she just did.
Can I talk? Like,
Yeah.
can I actually talk to them?
You can speak to. You can't understand what they're saying at all. You have no idea what they're saying. You understand that it sort of should make sense, but it just is making no sense whatsoever. If you speak from the other side, guys, you hear her likewise seeming to speak, but it's like the equivalent of someone speaking Shakespearean English from when you hear her. Like, it just doesn't. You can't wrap your head around it.
Shakespearean English is that hard.
No, no.
French, on the other hand.
French. on the-
Alrighty, I'm gonna actually use Gwen's limited telepathy. And I'm gonna tell Gwen that everything is okay. I'm fine. It just seems like I'm in a different plane. Go ahead and tell everyone else that it's perfectly fine, and you can just walk right through. It's a little scary at first, but after that, everything's fine. And I'm gonna have Gwen basically tell Mari this.
Okay.
She does. Gwen sort of informs you that, you hear Gwen's voice in your head saying, it's fine, you can go through. She's fine.
Alright.
Just
I want to imagine Gwen sounds like Steve Owen too. It's fine in there, mate. Crikey.
So
Only it would be a female version because Gwen is female.
So at this
I was
point,
gonna say, sorry.
at this
No, go
point, having heard this from Gwen, I say, well, looks like it's safe. I trust Gwen. I trust Nemesis. I'm still kind of hesitant, but remembering what Steve Irwin looked like when he first arrived, I
Don't
take
worry.
that courage and I just leap through.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, if the ladies first, I guess, and I'll step in.
So, has everyone gone through? Who's the last person?
I think Bull and
Shallow.
Shallow.
Yeah.
So Bull, sick and tired of just standing around, kind of grabs Shallot, and Ramsey just kind of barrels in through the door.
I don't want to go. No, put me down. That just seems scary in there.
Oh, shut up, Shallot. Just ball up.
You guys all enter a room. It's very warm in here, and you notice that there is a figure who appears to be standing on a balcony looking down upon you guys. It's literally it's almost like a place to address people, but he has in front of him an orb. He's wearing dark robes. His hood is up. He is entirely wreathed in shadow, and he has his hands sort of manipulating this orb. You see crackling eldritch energy lancing between his fingertips and the orb's surface, and he looks down at you, or you assume he does, and you hear his voice say, finally. It's been so long since I had fresh subjects for my experiments. To what do I owe this rare pleasure?
I came with the sacrifice, and Ramsey kind of put gestures at Shallot. He's kind of stupid, but I think he'll work just fine.
Good.
Totally
Bull's got
called
a-
it about the drow, by the way.
Bull's got like a set of dice. Can he just kind of like hurl them at him? Just like he's got them in his pocket and just kind of throws them straight at him.
Bull,
Terrified-
that was
terrified
weird,
somehow
Bull.
for a 20. Yeah.
You don't just throw dice on people. It's not okay.
You hurl them up. He extends a hand, and you watch as your dice explode as a lance of energy.
Exploding dice.
It comes from. It seems to come from the orb itself. Channels through him. For a moment, you see his skeleton, like a really cartoonish sort of like lightning attack, and he extends his hand, and this bolt of energy just hits your two dice as they sail through the air, almost like bolo style, and they explode. There's nothing left, I'm afraid.
Oh, I wanted to play dice later.
Why would you have thrown dice at him if you'd wanted to play dice later, Bullet?
He might have been up for a game. You never know.
Is that usually how you
No.
find players? You just throw dice at them and see if they want to play.
I mean,
That's how-
that's how it worked in my unit, yeah.
I have a quick question. Did you guys all arrive in this show tonight because Will just turned up at your house? And
I threw dice at them.
Yeah, he came all the way to Canada.
Yes!
I was surprised. Yeah, Marie at this point, seeing this explosion happen, cast invisibility on herself.
Okay,
Nope, out of there.
roll me initiative, guys. It's gonna have to be well, we're gonna have to do this as quick as possible because wrapping up soon. But I've got to take
Dice
Steve.
attack.
I feel guilty for taking Steve off the initiative order. But then again, Steve just
Yeah, Lillian says that's how I've been doing it. Have I been doing it
Oh,
wrong?
yeah.
It's just... Nat 20. Oh yeah.
Oh, dang it!
Don't mind if I
An
do.
Entire 7.
He's gonna explode your dice, Bull.
Oops, I did the wrong thing. Ah,
Hey,
You make
we
my
go
dice go
together.
boom boom.
hey. Not a 5.
Nice.
Not a 5. Hashtag not a 5.
Hashtag nothing to worry about.
You know, my method would explain why, the last couple of arrests. Yeah.
so
When you're using metal dice, I mean, it's... I can see why.
there is that. So Charlotte is on a 7. Damn, Charlotte with the initiative.
Damn, shut out.
You know.
I'm
You know it's
slow. I'm
coming.
sorry. With all these books I carry in my backpack for your entertainment.
This is true. I can't fault you for that.
Yep.
Oh god, he's actually going first.
The
Oh
fuck?
lordy!
No.
Damn.
Shit.
Even with your nat 20, he still goes first.
Still beats you. So he is going to look at 3 of you. He's going to pick. I'm gonna pick Finbar, Nemesis, and Maria.
Damn
no, I
it.
can't.
I'm
I
invisible.
can't pick. Yeah, in fact.
So am I.
You can't see me.
Can't see me.
Can't touch this.
So this will be. Oh god, those are some terrible rolls. So 5 and a 6, even with +4, will miss. But a +4, so 16. Does 16 hit you?
No.
Okay, damn, terrible rolls. So he holds out his hand, and from his fingertips shoot forth this eldritch lightning.
Oh,
and
dear.
with that, he hurls himself quite amazing agileness for someone who's supposedly, purportedly 4,000 years old. Lands in that superhero landing, punches the floor, makes a little crack. So bad.
Very sprightly for his age. Very sprightly.
We're not ageist here on Encounter
Nuh-uh.
Roleplay. We endorse all villains from all ages.
This is like his 50th hip that he's gone through.
Indeed. And he stands up and he looks at the man who will be his 60th, his 51st hip that he's.
That's how he gets him.
Yeah. He launches out these eldritch blasts towards you guys, and then you watch as armor seems to slot into place around him. It's ethereal, it's red, and it's glowing and very demonic looking as he summons, not wearing any armor himself, some sort of magical armor. Next up is Finbar. Finbar, you're up, buddy.
Oh goodness. The hour is
I'd
nigh.
just like to mention that Nemesis is currently at 19 hit points.
Okay, I will vicious mockery again. My most vicious of spells. And I'm going to point at what's his name again, this guy?
Saldrum.
Yeah, Saldrum.
Okay, I'm gonna point at him and say, "You, sir, are a drow," and he can roll me a wisdom.
Do I have to roll a save too?
I'm gonna give it to you. You're okay, as it's only Finbar. It's a 20. It's a 20 a save.
Damn!
He is aware.
Yeah.
Turns out he knew.
Turns out he knew all along. Fuck. They usually don't know.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that is literally all I'm good for.
Cool. Okay, Namasei.
Alright, I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm going to attack twice with my short sword.
Okay. 24 hits. Damn,
There you
you're
go.
rolling solid, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
20. So, yeah, you tell me how you pierce into this guy. It's he gets past his magical arcane armor, which seems to sort of try and lock into place to deflect the hit, but you're just too fast.
I go on ahead and I try to cut an X into his chest.
It's very dramatic. I mean,
Yes.
it's not the cleanest of X's. It's a little ragged, but yeah, you slice into him, and you watch as the armor literally like reinforces around the chest to provide extra protection, leaving other places slightly more vulnerable. And he winces, and his hood falls back, and he is the oldest man you've ever seen in your life. He looks like he would cough dust. Like, it's just so old, guys. It's so wrinkled, almost like
Yeah.
a you know if you've ever seen a shrunken head, but if it wasn't actually shrunken, it still looked as
Just a
grim.
head.
Lovely.
Moisturize!
Moisture. That's your next vicious mockery. Mary, you're up.
Okay. At this point, I'm still invisible. So you said that he sort of cracked the floor when he landed, right?
Indeed.
Does this look like I could make this crack bigger?
It does indeed.
Okay. How far away is it from me?
He's about 20 feet from everyone, apart from Namasei, who's right up in his grill.
Okay.
And his slashy slash.
Okay. I'm gonna move, still invisible.
Mhm.
That's 30 feet.
Okay.
So pretty much to where that crack was. And behind him if I can, so I'm not immediately seen as soon as I cast the spell.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. I really don't have that much for beating things in, but I am going to cast Thunder Wave.
Oh,
Let's
damn. Okay.
See if that does anything. He's going to be in the range, I believe.
Cool.
Yep.
It's also going to be a save from Namasei. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, Namasei.
Oh, it's okay.
Alright, so cast that.
Or con, this guy does not have good con.
What
Not
sort
gonna
of
He's
save
an
is
old
this?
man.
lie. Con save.
Con save?
Indeed.
Sweet.
Yep. You got
You
it?
saved. He does not save.
Ha
He gets a 7. Yeah, so
takes
he
the-
is thrown 10 feet. So you actually watch as from suddenly behind him, like you slice into him, he stands, you see his armor lock into place. He snarls, or you think he snarls. Maybe his face doesn't actually move. It's wrinkled, it's old, it's leathery. It's pretty gross. But he makes like a guttural growl towards you. He takes a step forward, and as he does, there is this huge boom as you're pretty sure that he's sort of like about to summon or like bring forth some huge magical attack, but it actually drives him down to one knee, and you hear something break. It sounds like
Is this him?
bones snapping, and he puts his knee through the floor, and you watch as the floor starts to fall away, and parts of the floor become ethereal in places and fall a very long distance, seemingly into an ocean that might be below him. He does not look like he's it looks pretty panicked, actually. He has a moment of, oh crap, as his leg is partly through the floor.
Aha!
It is... Mary, you have materialized.
Yep, I know.
Oh, you're up.
Right. So how far away is he from me?
about 20 feet away, and there's just been sort of an explosion, and which Marie made a very explosive entry and just ta-da, Jazan! Massive explosions.
That's
Right.
exactly how she enters.
So I'm gonna like go up to him and slash at him with my longsword in both hands.
Cool. Give me an attack.
Right.
Cool. Damn. Okay, roll me some damage. That's pretty solid hit. I should have given this guy better mage armor. Not the best damage, but yeah, you drive your blade down into him, and the armor tries to lock into place, but it seems to have been sort of like scattered away from him, and is sort of trying to recompile itself around his form. And you just swing down, and you go through his collarbone, and you hear that sickening snap. Draw your blade out, and it brings with it a lot of what you'd expect to be blood, but instead it's just almost like dust comes seeping out of the wound, as if this guy is, fucking old.
Fucking made of dust.
Bull shouts, and that's for my dice as he does it.
That was literally your fault, Bull. Literally your fault.
I have to agree with Finbar. That was your fault.
Thank you.
Shallot grabs his
Don't
spellbook
expect me to agree with you ever again.
and he starts flipping through the pages. He's like, "Oh my God, what are driders afraid of? What are driders? What are drow afraid of? What are driders? Of course, yes, they're cursed. Right? Okay. He runs over and he rips off a piece of fleece from Ramsey. Don't worry, I got this. And he begins to look over at Saldrum, and he begins to chant the incantation for phantasmal force to create a large drider.
Okay.
What this will do is Saldrum will believe and rationalize that the phantasm is real, and if he's within the vicinity of the phantasm, he has to, let's see. I craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of the creature within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a fail save, I create a phantasmal object, creature, or another visible phenomenon of my choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube, and that is perceivably perceivable only to the target for the duration, which is 1 minute.
Thank you for the host, Tims.
Has no effect.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli. Let's see. The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with intelligence investigation to check against the spell save. My spell save DC. If the check succeeds, the target realizes it's the phantasm, and for the rest of the duration, he rationalizes that it's real. If he's near it, he takes 1d6 psychic damage every turn. And I think Josh is muted.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, yes, looks like it.
Yeah. So, what kind of save is it? Is it an intelligence save?
Yeah, he takes an intelligence save. I need to find my spell DC.
Is it a 12 or greater?
I should. Let's see. Mine's a 14. So
14. So he fails, and you watch as sort of like you see magic flicker to life. You kind of get the feeling you've got it right, but you can't see the precise form it takes. But there is something hovering above him, and what he sees in this moment as he looks up, Saldrum sees a giant, half drow, half spider of enormous proportions looming over him. It skitters, it chitters, it comes to rest above him, and it slams down its abdomen with some huge stinger into him. And you watch as the force impacts him, and it's enough to push him through this hole. And you watch as he slowly begins to fall, clawing at the air, screaming. But the second he passes through, he turns ethereal, and is as ethereal as the rocks that seem to be below him. It does not look like he's going to do well from this. That is us out of combat. There's nothing he can really do. And now he's falling 200 feet to a rocky demise. So yeah, you guys are free to leave. You have that's pretty dramatically over.
Aha.
I'm gonna go on ahead and look around and see if I can find anything worthy of taking.
He got wrecked.
You notice a couple of things around. There are a couple of potions that look of interest that you'd need to take into town to have identified. You also notice a couple of other bits and pieces, just weird ingredients and occasional bones that definitely look like they've come from humanoids and people. So that's what's available.
Any weapons?
No weapons in here.
Darn.
Shallot walks up to the crystal ball and kind of like places his hand on it and tries to inspect it with Arcana.
Roll me an Arcana real quick. And as you touch it, nat 20, you actually feel, as you touch this, that there is a sudden burst of energy. You feel the connection to it. And you realize that he is trying to undo something that he did here. And you have the potential to accelerate it. You find the piece that he's looking for and the combination of runes. And you potentially have the ability to return what is left of this castle from the depths and bring it back from whatever realm he originally banished it to. If
Do it, man.
Your other option, you could take this entire place into the other realm. You can get out either way.
Restore it, man.
Shallot looks to Ramsey. Ramsey, my friend, my long pal, what do you say? Drop that motherfucker in the other plane. For real. All right. And he takes the orb and he like blinks the fort out of, I guess, the plane.
Cool. So are you bringing it back into the world you're from, or are you taking the whole thing into this realm?
Taking the whole thing into the realm.
No.
Into this realm. So yeah, you guys have there's like a sudden squeezing sensation. You all feel immense pressure, headaches build, you all get a nosebleed, you all get ear bleed, whatever that is, that's a thing. You all feel like your hearts are being crushed, and suddenly there's a resounding pop. And all of you, I can't do that, but that's exactly what I was looking for. And you all impact with a small skid onto a grassy plain. Behind you, there is a cliff that is entirely unadorned.
See, now you can build stuff on here.
What are we trying to tell people?
Are you serious?
Whoops.
And that is where we're going to leave it there for today,
Oh,
as we're running a
man.
little over. Thank you for giving me a little bit extra time there, Will. And thank you guys for coming along.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Well, yeah, we are gonna wrap up today's stream, my friends. But fear not, for we will be back online tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, which means we're playing Numenera, a series of stillness. So if you enjoyed tonight's show, please do let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if you enjoyed the show, hit that follow button and join us. Yeah, we're online 6 days a week here at Encounter Roleplay, so you can drop by anytime for some more Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing game action. But yeah, let's go around to cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? All that good nonsense. Let's start with Josh, wonderful Dungeon Master for today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. It's lovely to play with you guys. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you very much. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was when you who you were playing. I was like, oh my god. But no, it was wonderful. we had the physical, possible spiritual link to this world of Steve
Owen, confirmed.
Yeah, we had the candle throwing expertise and sheer badassery of Bull, who is just like, there is something very far away, fucking kill it. Just no matter how far, if it's what the elevation is, fucking kill it.
You got it.
We have a sheep, a goat thing that that was a beautiful relationship. I want to explore that deeper. Finbar, fuck you. And lastly, obviously, MSA, the one who was actually brave enough to nearly fall to her death and splatter herself all over the rocks. and I think you actually were the only one who really took much damage, apart from Bull, who inflicted it by being a badass. Can't really complain.
I
So,
also inflicted damage like a badass.
yeah, you did. Damn solid rolls. So thank you guys for playing. We will be back next week with more West Marches, with a new cast, a new crew. And if you want to be involved in that, type in I'll do it for you. It's !play in the chat there, and you can find out how you can get involved with this, as well as donations and all that jazz. The last thing I just want to say is I'll be back on Mondays and Tuesdays for Tyrants for All, and the mic.
The mic game.
The unmade
game.
But it's totally not a rip-off of something I did a
Yeah.
while back. So thank you guys, and I'll hand you over to...
Let's go to someone else. Yeah. Also, quick note. Awesome that this cast is so great that you guys just came along and played. These guys are just viewers. So it's fantastic. Come along and play with us some more, you guys. And if you're in chat, wanting to play some games with us, then you can do. But yeah, let's go to Kiana up top.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So you can find me at Twitter, Kiana S, the same thing as my Twitch. I also DM 2 campaigns, which I chronicle over at DungeonsandDragons.tumblr.com. Dungeons spelled with like done, as in I am done with you, because that's me all the time. But yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, so you can follow that, see where my party likes to take the adventures. It's super fun. Thanks guys for having me on here. Super fun. You made my first experience as an actual player super fucking cool. So
Awesome.
yeah, hopefully I'll be able to join you guys again at some point.
Absolutely.
I'd be so down.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Zippy Zippo.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity to come on here and play with you guys. My name is Zippy Zippo. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo, where we do a lot of roleplay games. We play, do some ARC roleplay. We do some GTA 5 roleplay. But what I really like to do is game series. And the current series that we're on, and we're going to start tomorrow night, is we're doing Zork, the old 1980 text adventure game, but we're starting backwards. We just did Zork Grand Inquisitor, and last night we finished Nemesis. Tomorrow night we're going to start with Return to Zork, and then every Monday we're going to plow through and try to speed run the old Infocom MS-DOS games.
That is some typing there.
You're a brave man. Fantastic. Let's go to Otaku Bree.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. Even though I was like the only one who took damage. That's kind of what I get for being a monk and an up-close fighter. But that was amazing. Definitely did not really like the drow jokes. As Will types in the chat, and a drow.
Oh.
You're awesome, man.
It's too easy.
But I had loads of fun, and I'm definitely considering doing this again. You can find me on Twitter at OtakuBree, and you can find me on Tumblr, Otaku-Bree. You can also find me on Sundays at the RPG Lab on Twitch, where I also play Nemesis for their campaign. And it's loads of fun. It's chaos everywhere. And it's we currently split the party, so that's fun.
That's a good plan.
Rule 1, split the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, always split the party. Best idea ever. Not really. So yeah, I definitely look forward to doing this again. And I'm gonna
Hand
move it
over.
on up to Bull.
Yeah, let's hand over to Down Low Otaku.
Hey guys, I really enjoyed it. This being my first proper D&D session. Just really enjoyed getting into the character of Bull. Started off a bit nervous because I'm generally a quiet person anyway, but I really got into it as it progressed, and it was just so much fun. And the Steve Irwin bit was just phenomenal.
It's now
not,
canon.
Not,
It's
not
now
my
canon.
not my best accent, but thank you very much.
Yeah, so I've just recently started streaming myself, just bits and bobs, gonna dabble in world creation, and I'm doing a bit of like random character creation where I roll the dice to decide like the race, the class, the background, and
Nice.
then really try and go into detail as to why, say, a fighter is an acolyte as opposed to, say, instead of being a cleric himself. So I'm doing that right now on Twitch, which is just Download Otaku, and you can find me at Twitter at Download Otaku again. So
All right.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, guys, go and follow these wonderful people and their fantastic projects. Next week, and this time we'll have a whole new crew in to play some more Dungeons and Dragons. But back to our usual cast tomorrow for Numenera Series of Stillness at 4 p.m. EDT. Saturday is my day off, woo! And then Sunday we're back online more for a lot of tutorial shows and talking about Dungeons and Dragons with some other guests coming online in the show. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for the donations, the follows, the support, and just coming out and having a good time with us. And thank you again to the cast of players and to Josh for running this fantastic game. Looking forward to next week. And of course, until next time, my friends, try not to throw too many net ones because we want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
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 Oh.